Brother Marines. We have returned again today, this night, tonight, Saturday night, for another Afterdark. I'm Slaith, you're still you. We got Jackal 1.
I'm Jackal 1, as always, still also myself.
We got AR.
Hello, I am here, still myself as well.
Intro thing. I was thinking, not just updating the intro to the channel with just maybe some new shit, and maybe I don't know if it would be the same song or not, but maybe like an intro to Afterdark.
Like a separate one?
Yeah, like it gets its own intro. It gets its own the Afterdark intro. I don't know how we would do that. Would it just be like a bunch of the footage of just like the edits where it's just like me and you, where I put the Dark Angel helmet and I put the Bloodhound helmet, like the.
We'd have to put AR in it too, though.
I've got some AR PNGs. I could figure it out.
All right. His news that he sent you, yeah.
I could figure it out. I could have him kind of just like creep in from the side, just.
The nose from below.
Right. Oh yeah, the nose from below. Yeah. Right, and then add the Jaws music. Dana, 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 dana.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, we see we're figuring it out.
So what a week. So the dog ate my homework, and I forgot to watch. I forgot to watch the Acolyte. I fell asleep. Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna get this part out of the way. I wasn't gonna do it, but now I'm gonna get this out of the way. I'm breaking all the rules now. Okay. What was it? The other night, what was it? It was AR and I were hanging out in the Afterdark chat, and then there was just some guy demoing off his whole homebrew album of moody environmental instrumental knockoff Doom songs sort of thing. And this conversation went from I think it was 2:30 to 6 in the morning.
Oh man.
It just went on and on.
So he was just there with his mixtape for 5 hours or something?
It was like this fantastic fucking cyber vampire that showed up to kept the hooks in you and just pumping the energy in you to drain it out. And that just went on for so long that I ended up staying up way too late. And then I woke up way too late, so I'm gonna need to fix my sleep. So, maybe I'll be having the early night or the early morning, whatever I need to do to fix that shit. So either way, I missed out on watching The Acolyte, I guess. I mean, I'm sure I missed out on a lot, and it was probably the best show ever. Right? That's what I was told. That's what I heard. I heard it's the best show ever. From one of the Battle Brothers, completely not understanding why. I guess the title of this is The Acolyte Sucks. Now, my knowledge on this one is only going to go so far. So I'm going to be at one point, I'm just going to be captaining this over to AR. AR is just going to be you're the captain on this one, you're taking lead, because you're the most...
Okay.
This is your show now.
Yeah. So my disclosure on the whole Acolyte disaster of a TV show is it managed to keep my attention for most of the action bits, and I effectively skipped most of episode 2 and parts of 3, but I got the gist of episode 3, and oh my god, what are they trying to do to like these Sith assassins or whatever they're trying to claim that they are?
We watched that one scene right before I did go to sleep, where it was
Yeah.
what Trinity fighting like Raggedy Andy in a bar, and they had like a Force kunai fight. Is that what that's called? The throwing dagger, right, from like Naruto. It's the kunai, right?
The ninja throwing stars.
Yeah, but it was like the knife version, not like because a star
Yeah.
would be like radial or whatever, right? And then this one was like the one that has like the, I don't know, like the sewing needle hole. You know what I mean? Like the eye of the needle. It's got the eye of the tiger. And
Yeah.
yeah, and I don't know, like I when I saw that scene where it's like Carrie Ann Moss, so she's Trinity, but now she's a Jedi. So she's Trinity, but she's also got the one powers. Huh, sounds familiar. And she is only able to use her force in one direction or something.
Yeah.
Because she can't like use the force, pointing forward and then also be doing it to her right.
It's the thread. That's what they call it in the show, right? They call it the thread.
The
of
thread.
The Force.
Oh,
the cult doesn't call it. They call it the thread, right?
Oh, is it called the thread? Is that true, AR?
Yeah.
I think so, or something like that.
Yeah. They call it the thread. Because I just watched like Critical Drinker's video on it yesterday. So yeah, it's the thread.
We got Maximilian in the chat here, and she has to ask them to fight her because the Sith are the good guys. That's right, because Carrie Ann Moss, because Trinity is just sitting there minding her own fucking business, and then it's just kind of like, fight me! No, that's because you're a Jedi, and Jedi won't do it, and it's kind of like, no, I'm not going to do it. And so then she beats up this room, because of everybody in this bar is a man except for Carrie Ann Moss and this Sith assassin. And so now there's this whole scene where this Sith assassin starts beating up all these alien men, while Carrie Ann Moss just kind of stands there and watches, going, like some kind of like kung fu movie where, the hero is fighting the room full of beat 'em up villains, and he just kind of stands there and goes, aha, now you fight me, the final boss. And then she like stops her, and then they have this kung fu fight, which, I mean, that's kind of creative and new and different, I guess, but it still just kind of comes across kind of weird. And then, fuck me. Okay, Acolyte. Did the show suck even more this week? Curry asks.
Yes, it gets even worse.
Okay, so sorry to cut in. Please do go on.
There's two of them.
There's two of what?
It's two what?
The assassin. They're twins.
Oh yeah,
Twins.
yeah, they're twins.
There's
Yeah,
twins.
yeah.
There's twin assassins.
Yeah, one's a mechanic, which sounds like something from fucking like Mega Man or like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, but Mechnik.
Mechanic, yeah.
Previously was being trained as a Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was previously on X-Men. She was being trained as a Jedi. Yeah, I remember that. They were saying that. And then they bring in these two characters that look like they're like dressed like sci-fi Legolas. Right? They're wearing these like white and gold sort of robes or whatever, and they're the Jedi. And they're really on edge because they somehow think that this Jedi trained girl is the assassin, but wouldn't they like sense that kind of shit? I sense an awful lot of fear for a trade discussion, right? Like, shouldn't they be a little bit more in tune with this kind of shit? I still haven't watched it yet. I have not watched Curry. I watched the first like 15, 20 minutes, and then I went to sleep.
I don't know that much more about it either.
I watched a bit more. The action didn't get much better, if at all. that one assassin is able to escape from multiple Jedi.
But I hear people are
Like-
talking about the space shinbone force impregnation space lesbians, and
There's like an entire. I mean, that was at the very end of my attention span, and you already know how I do not like the human element of these shows as is.
it seems
So
like
this part got like vastly skipped, like like the 10-second button. You know how fast I can click through that.
But it seems like you're right. Like people were talking about it now when it was shown, but it was actually mentioned at the very start in that first episode when they're talking about her moms, right?
Yeah.
So, which kind of reminds me of like, remember America Chavez from the Doctor Strange multiverse movie where she was from the universe where she had two moms?
Yeah.
I see what you're doing, Disney. I see what you're doing. I see
Well,
through the
it's
lies of the
gravity.
Jedi. Okay. So like what happens after that? Like what happens there? What do we see? Is there any good fights? Is there even one good fight? I mean, it's
The
not
fight
about
that really happens is there's one like the Jedi like master guy saves the one girl, or the one like the I guess like the mechanic, like the quote unquote good twin, right?
Mhm.
And then he manages to steal the other one's like little like assassin knives or whatever. But the moment she's outnumbered, she just goes, "I'm going to poof into like the dust cloud, and nobody's going to be able to follow me or trace me."
So
Bye.
she's a Sith ninja.
Yeah.
Anime ninja that's able to do like I just am
Yeah.
invisible. I literally
Yes.
I'm not stealth or sneaky. I literally teleport, sort of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm going to smoke screen teleport. Yeah.
Well, the smoke bomb. Yeah, I mean, like that's classic. I mean, you have to drop the smoke because you have to do that thing where it looks like you're about to do something, and then you just like raise your hand and then smash down the smoke bomb. But this is is it like a force smoke bomb? How did that one go about?
Yeah, it was like
Doesn't-
forced into like the dust cloud. But there's like 3 plus Jedi there, right? And you could think like, okay, you all could just be like, cool smoke bomb lady, let's just use our force powers to blow all the smoke away. Goodbye.
Doesn't like someone get stabbed in that show and then like by a whole ass lightsaber and nothing happens? Like she's just fine the next episode.
I think that was Ahsoka, wasn't it?
Yes.
That was
I must be. No, yeah, it was Ahsoka. I thought it happened again in Acolyte. No, what happens in Acolyte doesn't like someone gets stabbed by a butter knife and then die immediately.
yeah.
It's like a lightsaber
Yeah.
doesn't kill you, but like this butter knife, that's like a deadly weapon. You know.
Yeah, Trinity from the Matrix. She gets one of those
Force dagger.
Naruto throwing knives. She gets one of those thrown into her chest. And like once again, it's a weird typecast for her to have to be playing the martial arts character that gets a piece of metal skewered through her chest, which happens twice in the Matrix and now once in Star Wars. Right? She gets a bullet through her chest. She gets like a piece of like rebar. She gets a piece of metal shoved through her chest at the end, and now she gets a ninja knife thrown into her. So yeah, and it's not like it goes in that deep. And then you'd have to think like
What a
did-
rough typecast.
was Bacta was Bacta invented 5 minutes after Qui-Gon's death? like this miracle drug that they just launch you into and then you're just healed the next day. Like, oh, you got attacked by like a space polar bear? Don't worry, Luke. We're gonna give you a little bit of a bubble bath and you'll be right as rain, and then he's fine, right? Oh, don't worry, fucking artsy liberal girl Boba Fett. You know, you're fine. You got stabbed by a lightsaber. pshaw, that's a fucking flesh wound. It's Star Wars. Everybody survives this thing. You know, and then, like, that's when, like, Moff Gideon gets up. Even for me, no, go back into the fucking flame hellhole where you died. Moff Gideon. Right? So, twice the budget of Kenobi as well. So this show has twice the budget of Kenobi.
Oh my god. Dude, it's just it's nepotism. Like every fucking show gets like a shit ton of money, right? They'll get like it's the same with like Rings of Power. You'll get like fucking $7 billion to goddamn work with, and you have nothing to show for it. You have shit. You have created shit.
Mm-hmm. I thought what I saw in like that was like 15, 20 minutes that I watched. I kind of thought the wire work thing was kind of neat, where they did that sort of crouching tiger, hidden dragon kind of super jump, run up the wall, sort of weightless jump that Carrie-Anne Moss or whatever that Trinity does at the beginning of that thing. I kind of liked that because it kind of looked a little bit more interesting than like Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon just going, and then they jump up. They do like a super jump up, like fucking like a skyscraper's height to like a sky bridge or whatever the fuck. Like it like that part. It looked better. Although it definitely stood out from a lot of other Star Wars stuff that gets done. The type of sort of acrobatics that they typically display. You think of like Luke doing cartwheel backflips and super, you know, like the super jump that he does in Empire, and then like the cartwheel jump that he does in Jedi and shit like that. But then this one, it's very different. It's very smooth, and it really reminds me of a lot of those kung fu movies, right? Where they would be like Naruto running from roof to roof or from wall to wall, sort of thing, in this really in this like super impossible, really floaty way. So I mean, like, it looked neat, and it was a different take. The whole kung fu fight was interesting to say the least, but I mean, like, I didn't get to see the rest of the torture fest that AR saw. I keep cutting him off when he's about to probably talk about the shinbone lesbians. All right.
Oh man, just wait till he gets to the singing part.
Come again?
Just wait till he gets to the part with the singing.
Does the guy have like?
Oh, that one.
It doesn't have boy band Klingons, does it?
No, but it may be just as bad in many aspects. It's not good. So continue, AR, please. Continue.
Jackler, this is going to be some darkness that I'm just going to share with you. I actually don't mind the singing when it happens inside of shows.
Oh.
So that part didn't even bother me. It's dumb, but it doesn't even bother me.
These views are not necessarily shared or held by the people who run this channel, and
yeah, it doesn't bother me at all.
I mean,
like I found the boy band Klingon bit funny.
He
like
likes
that. Like the rest of the song was garbage, but the boy band Klingon bit was actually like they rhymed. They did like it was a good like they had good bars inside of it. Good on them for trying. They tried.
Listen, AR, look, if you get banned tomorrow, it's not me, okay? It's not me.
I can't. No, because they have this like golden armor. They come in this like gold. There's never see Klingons like this before, but now they're like fucking shining golden custodians, whatever. They're singing fucking boy band music. Why wouldn't they sing fucking Klingon opera? There's already a music type that the Klingons fucking sing.
I know, that's
but
why
of course,
they're
they're singing fucking 90s fucking boy band song music style. Oh my fucking god. Oh my god. It's the worst. Why did they do that? And then, of course, it all leads back to Spock giving his PowerPoint presentation on how he's a cuck. But, like, what the fuck? The fucking musical episode. And then we go to that, like fucking, like Lon
Okay, calm down.
Noonien
Calm
sing.
down. We're here to talk about the Acolyte. Sun's going down.
We
Calm
got
down.
the Lon Noonien sing, and she's just like, I just want to be like everyone else, and it's like, fuck, motherfucking, what the fuck is this? And there's this whole fucking song and dance thing in like the fucking bar room. Oh my god, I can't. So like, it's, oh my god, AR, what have you
Let's
done?
talk about an Acolyte that's a way better show.
So the Acolyte. The topic we're actually talking about.
We're actually talking about. We keep interrupting the fucking guy.
Yeah, to avoid talking about it.
It's more enjoyable to think about the Klingon boy band than the Acolyte.
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
that should tell you something.
It is. It legitimately is.
Oh,
I could talk to you about the Halo TV show in
Oh,
more
I-
fond affection.
we can
I
get to
think
that.
I would.
We can get to that.
I
I'll change the
probably enjoy
title.
The Halo TV show.
I'll change the title of the stream, and let's see. It is now Acolyte sucks, and
Although to be fair,
So
I think we're a bit late on
does
the
Halo.
show.
show.
It's not recent news, so we're a bit late on the Halo show there.
Well, I mean, you don't have to be on. We're not cutting edge news here. This is an opinion show. This is.
Oh,
That's right. This isn't Fox News. This is even foxier news.
so true, bestie.
That's right. You know, Foxy. Dun, dun, dun. So,
AR, please continue. If we interrupt you again,
No, it's fine.
please continue.
Billy. Okay, so all right.
Yeah, so like the Halo TV show, at least like as far as like in comparison to like the Star Wars TV shows, right? Like granted, like one's like already a pre-existing like movie franchise, and then the other's like a video game franchise.
Mhm.
But like Star Wars has had more opportunities to turn it around. Does that make sense? And they keep continuing to make.
They
like,
keep fucking it
yes.
up, yeah.
There's a certain point where you're supposed to pull back on the stick in this plane.
Yeah.
And, right, like,
I think it really is the end of Star Wars, because like
And-
this, shit like the Acolyte, that's just how it is now.
what isn't it
Every
the end
show-
of? What isn't ending with all of this new age shit?
I mean,
Like-
true, but
like
it's like
Star Trek, Star
nobody-
Wars, Warhammer, even they're even going after like very niche shit like the fucking Batman animated series from the 90s where now Harley Quinn fucking pegs Robin in some kind of grape case. And then they need to go after the X-Men 90s. They really needed to go after this stuff, and they really needed to put Morph in there, and they needed to make him want to do creepy butt stuff with Wolverine in the shower. So like they need to destroy everything. Everything needs to get a new slap of paint on it. But that slap of paint also has like half a jar of jizz mixed into it.
Mhm.
But just in one spot, there's like this big jizz stain.
And that's just how it's gonna be now, because like there's nobody there that wants to like fix Star Wars, or nobody working there that wants to anyway. So it's like nobody with the talent, the desire, drive, etc. So like, it's over, boys. It's never been more over than it has been now.
Like I think that all the people who, you know how it's like there's a line from one of the old Superman movies where like Superman goes to his like man cave and he's talking to a bunch of like crystal old men or something, and they're like, if you make humanity trust in one man, you will just teach them to be betrayed. And like, who did people trust with not Batman, with fucking Star Wars? That cowboy hat guy. Right?
Dave Filoni.
They trusted
And
cowboy hat guy
He failed us.
and
He failed us.
and the other guy, the fat guy with the beard. They trusted
Jon
him.
Favreau.
Right? They trusted him. And you know what? Before it became what it is now, if you were to probably bring up Kathleen Kennedy years ago, or you were to look at the list of things she was involved in, helped with, or she was like, I don't know, even just the fucking coffee person for a bunch of different shit, She was involved in a lot of some of the best cinema in the last like 30 years, like Gremlins and fuck, I don't know, I can't name it all, but I'm just saying like it becomes weird that the people who you would think she was right there next to George in all these interviews and stuff like that, right? You would think
Yeah.
you would think that she would be one of those confidants, that one of those people that would be she would be who you would go to, and then it's almost kind of like the but who's like almost who's in her pockets. Because what would really inspire somebody to go, you know what? I want to really turn this and flip it on its head and go fuck you to the person that trusted me to take care of this space baby, right? And like, and it seems like one after another, you teach you make humanity, have their trust and faith in just one man, and then you teach them to be betrayed, right? And right there. It seems to happen over and over and over again with this. A lot of this is due to pressure from a certain group linked to funding. What is this, like, Sorely George, or what? Like, what are we? Curious George and the Curious George and the mysterious funding
happens to be black.
Oh well, there's BlackRock, and then what's the other one? There's another funding thing. This is the same thing with Warhammer and all that too.
Yeah.
And then isn't there some company like Sweet Baby Hope or something like that, or
Sweet Baby Inc. is like its own thing. It's just a fucking band of talentless hacks. I don't think they have that much sway over.
Like people have tied that group to a bunch of really shitty titles. And it's like, what's their role? What do they like? Play test the game and then like make oh, this game passes the Bechdel test, but it doesn't pass the fucking.
That's basically what they do.
It doesn't pass the gay Bechdel test and the trans Bechdel test. Also, it's kind of problematic. This one character you have here, right in this one room, like you can't really have people of that demographic doing what you're displaying in that game. It's kind of problematic. Like
what you are doing over here. It seems
that's basically what they do. Yeah,
gonna make it difficult for us.
Getting scored based on including certain diversity in the scripts. Yeah, I can see that being the case. It's like you get extra points if your story is able to include this with diverse characters. And it's like, so is this how we got to like the Call of Duty World War II with like the black Afro Nazis?
This was that's way before all of this.
It is,
that was ages ago.
It was ages ago. But I mean, like, is this is the call for diversity, inclusion, and equity? This is the DEI inclusion that leads you to that, or is that problematic? Is that what they want, or is that problematic? Are you allowed? Like, why can't you have trans wheelchair Nazis? Why can't you have trans Nazis that force everybody to, adhere to their certain political ideology because they're a Nazi? Why can't you have that?
We'd be getting too close to real life at that point,
Oh yeah, and it's supposed to be escapism. You're right. We can't have this be too representative of reality because then it's not like a fantasy, right? It has to, yeah. And then of course. And then you're always going to have the people, it's like, well, why do you care so much? Right? It's like, why do you care so much? It's just a thing.
How does this affect you personally? It affects me because I like stuff.
It's like, how does this affect you personally? Okay, well, if it's not supposed to have any sort of personal effect, then it shouldn't have any sort of personal effect if we change it back and get rid of all this shit. And then you get that, like, face, like, right?
Yeah.
Like, and how dare you suggest that it should be changed back because that suggests some kind of problem with the way that what it was changed to. But then again, changing it could probably suggest that there was some type of problem, especially when it's specifically pointed out that there's some kind of problem that needs to be changed to make it more diverse, equitable, and inclusive. And, like, motherfuck, like, how come that new Final Fantasy VII Remake game doesn't have it so you can play as, like, Black Cloud?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, why can't you? Like, I mean, is that is that too much to ask? Shouldn't you be able to do that in this new environment of gaming customization, diversity, equity, and inclusion? Shouldn't that be a thing? I mean, why is it a problem in this new Assassin's Creed that you can play as either a black samurai or as an Asian woman? Why did they have a problem with that?
It's probably because in like Final Fantasy, well, it's made by a Japanese studio, and most of the DEI stuff, and I say most, basically all of it, is in Western studios.
You know, that reminds me, speaking of Japan, I saw some post, I was scrolling Facebook, and I saw some post which was talking about Japanese companies planning on censoring anime and manga that depicts lolly and whatever the other one is. And it's like, for fuck's sake, finally, it's about fucking time that you cleaned up that degenerate fucking shit. You gotta get rid of this shit. Why has this been allowed to exist for so long? And
why is it continuing to spread?
And they keep going for all these different loopholes to be like, no, it's okay. She's an 800-year-old demon.
She's 3,000 years.
No. She was only turned into a kid. It's okay. She's really 30. And it's like, like it, motherfucker, right? Like it's like
turn around, bite the curb, spread your butt cheeks.
No, but it's like this meme that I made years ago, where it's like all anime be like, and then it shows Kess from Voyager, and who's like a grown woman, and it says I'm 2, and then it shows Grogu, and it says I'm 50. Right there you go. There's the laws of anime right there, and like fuck, they have to.
It's like the same thing where like fucking nearly every modern anime called My Hero Academia. There's like these kids are like fucking 12 and she's got double D's, bro.
I think somebody was showing me some anime and this whole thing was just fucked. It was about some guy who like he's like a bum living at his mom's place, and then he gets zapped into the past, into the child of like a young boy. Or into like he's like the body. He's now a young boy in some fantasy world, and he's learning to be like a warrior, magic swordsman shit. But he's really like a grown ass pervert now, like who's in this young boy's body, and like this whole show. I can't describe more of it. I'm not going to do that on here. I'm not going to describe more things that are on this show. Because, like, no, I'm not doing it. But this show, it really fits the bill of, like, who approved this? Who approved this? And, like, how come certain rates aren't higher? They're, like, what?
Japan is a place of all time. It is about all I can say. It is a place of all time.
The samurai show on FX wasn't diverse enough for some, like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's history.
Yeah, there was so there's this show
Shogun
called
was so good.
Yeah, Shogun. I've watched a little bit of it. It is really good. People, I can't remember. It was probably like fucking IGN or Kotaku or some fucking shit. I don't know. They did like an article and like they were mad that there were no black people in this show set in Japan, in feudal Japan, and so they were mad that there were no black people in it.
Oh yeah, it's well known that there were many black people in Japan and feudal Japan.
And then, like, the guy who wrote the article, he goes on about, like, this certain ethnic group in Japan at that time that, like, he describes as black, but historically, it's actually kind of funny that historically, like, this specific ethnic group he refers to actually look more white than Asian.
It's impressive.
So the question is, why aren't there more white people in Shogun?
Well, there you go. Well, because they've already done that show. You've all had your show. Every other day of every other week of every other month of all the time of the rest of humanity is always your show, day, game, episode, level, character. etc. Can't you just let us have our one simple day that grows into a week that then becomes a month?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is the current month for that, right?
It is the month for this, yeah. Anyway, we're talking about the Acolyte. We've got to let bro finish.
Oh no, it's gone full circle. We've gone into it's the month for that. Now back to the Acolyte.
Back to the Acolyte, so go on,
Yeah.
AR.
So space lesbians, go.
Take it away.
It's definitely implied that they're up to like some like hide the children. The Jedi are not allowed to know. Hide the children. And so they're like trying to like hide the kids doing some like spooky like weird ritual thing. And I was like, okay, I'm about ready to fall asleep. Like why am I continuing to torture myself with this? This wasn't assigned to me in any form or passion. I shouldn't be putting myself through this. 10 second, 10 second, 10 second, 10 second. Oh, we're back to current, present, future, and smoke bomb gone. We'll have to find her. Your family's still alive. And that's where it kind of ended for me. That's what I last remember. And I'm choosing to not, kind of tuning the rest out for my own
I think they
sanity.
even say like, oh, we're hiding away here because the rest of the galaxy doesn't like who we are. Oh boy, I wonder what that could be a reference to.
From the chat, I must admit I got creepy vibes from the two mum, two daughters setup. AR,
Yeah.
could you enlighten us on that one, Master Jedi AR?
It's something
That's
they're doing to
correct,
like the
Master
Force or
AR.
whatever, and they were like trying to keep them away, trying to keep everything away from like the Jedi, and then it's like the Jedi are attacking.
Yeah.
So it's just,
Jedi the
They've
bad guy
severed
now.
the platform or something like that.
I mean, I guess I can kind of add it up together, because I mean, like, there's the twin sisters, and then there's also the two mums that they're mentioning, or at least that, like, space Legolas and, like, space antelope chick, or whatever the hell she was, right? Like, and
I thought she was like a bearded dragon.
she was something. With who, and the one that got all the close-ups, right? There was the two shot, and then she got all these close-ups with all these kind of just smug faces, and it's just kind of like, okay, I can see who they're giving a little bit more of the focus screen time. Who the real character that we're supposed to the real character is Antelope Lizard, and then the other guy, he's like, I don't know, fuck, I don't even know. He's like Justin Bieber or something, and then. So they're talking about the mums. So okay, so yeah, two mums. I still think it reminds me of that like America Chavez thing that they're really, and then once again now Fallout. Like that's becoming the new thing. That's the new thing that they need to do. The two mums, right? Why can't they if they're gonna do it? Why don't they go with the two dads? Right? There you go. Go with two dads.
Well, because they have to make
Spice it
them
up.
strong women.
Right, they can't show two dads and also show them to be both competent and good fathers, right? Because they have to be entirely inept and incapable. And yeah. So they can't show the two dads family. But they'll also go out of their way to have the two moms that like space scissor and then then pop out some kids. Like, what happened? Like, did they both pop out a kid each? Or did they, like...
No, it's just one of them. No, they actually, they explained this like they get pregnant through the thread, and so, like, only one of them carried the children. The other one just, like, does nothing, I guess.
Wait, I got it. What's the say in the chat here? What about burning the mountain rock burns now? What?
What?
I don't know. What about burning the mountain rock burns now?
The
AR,
the
is that like a puzzle? Do you understand that?
Is this
I
like
believe there was like a fire and stuff like that
There's a
when they
fire.
got separated.
Was there a mountain?
And I think that like
Isn't there like
the
wasn't
one daughter did something.
no? But
The
there's
assassin did something.
I know there's something about fire that people are complaining about with this show. That there's the spaceship that is burnt that has like a campfire like flame in space.
Yeah, at the very start.
Yeah, that it's not just that like sure there's been fires in Star Wars, but it's usually been depicted a little bit differently than what looks just like a little like you have like a little bonfire just kind of sitting there peacefully in the ship sort of thing. And I still think that she looked like Michael Burnham in that spacesuit. You know, like Michael Burnham in like the Red Angel spacesuit sort of thing, or whatever spacesuit that they had going on in that, where it's just like a Tron suit, right? Like it's like they're dressed up like Clue 2 with like the full face visor, like Master Chief or something. You know, speaking of that, you see how I said a full face visor like Master Chief? Take notes, Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like that's what they want. They want a mask on this guy. They don't want the Punisher. They want the helmet on. They don't want to know what's underneath. They would rather there be a second helmet underneath that than a face. So, okay, is that pretty much it? Because there's only 3 episodes, right? Is there anything else to even talk about with this show? Is there anything at all? Like, there's no cool fight scene or anything?
Not really. You've already
Wow.
seen it in that first like intro, and
That was
then, like,
it?
you know, like they have like a couple episodes.
It's in
And
like
it's
episode
kind
3 where they start singing, right? They all like get together and they start chanting and go like, the power of one, the power of two, the power of many. And then they just keep chanting that over and over again.
Oh, here we go. The temple caught fire and it was mostly made of rock. And then he's talking about the Wookiee Jedi. I want to make him into a rug. Oh, we've got a Trandoshan. We got a Trandoshan here in the chat. Okay.
It is the month for that.
It's the month for that. Yeah. Well, like in Jurassic Park, right, with certain frogs being able to change their sex, it is the month for that.
It is the month for that.
It is the month for that, right? Wow. Wookiee Jedi. Oh yeah, I saw that. Isn't it? And he's like a Wookiee, and he's like wearing like a Legend of Zelda tunic.
yes, and he has like a top knot. Top knot beehive, because it's like the Wookiee like shag fur.
Yeah, yeah. So just to say the quiet part out loud. So this is possibly the gayest Star Trek has ever been. Star Wars.
He just keeps thinking about Star Trek. He keeps thinking about Star Trek.
This is the gayest Star Wars has ever been. Right? Where we got the gay Wookiee with the top knot and like the tunic. He's not proud. Top knot beehive. Is it like the same as like the director that kind of looks like a little miniature Wookiee? Or whatever? Whatever.
No, I think it's a little bit different.
You know,
close enough.
But then we got the Legolas.
I see very little difference.
Right, but then we got the Legolas Jedi that sucks, and Antelope Lizard, and then we've got literal space scissoring shinbone lesbians, and then how much gayer
That are ninjas.
How much gayer has Star Wars ever been in the past?
In hindsight, it seems we were too quick to call the holiday special the worst Star Wars project.
You've sat down and watched the whole holiday special?
I've watched a little bit of it, but in hindsight, it is no longer the worst Star Wars project.
Well, it had its moments. It had its moments, I guess. It was all right. That stormtrooper really fucked up that Wookiee's teddy bear. It was an all right one. It had Jefferson's starship, and they had lightsaber microphones. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good movie. You should sit down and watch it sometime. You could get the directions on how to build a rebel radio or whatever the fuck he was trying to build. Fuck, I don't even remember. There should never be Wookiee Jedi. Oh, I don't know if I would go that far. But
I believe it's already been done in like the video games and stuff like that before.
Yeah, that's been around for a while.
Yeah.
I'd be
Because it happens in KOTOR.
Yeah.
I'd be fine with a Wookiee Jedi character on like the bigger small screen. The thing is it has to fit right. It has to feel right. It has to be Wookiee Jedi. But I mean, you're also going to want this character to be a character. And one of the problems with a lot of the Wookiees, just in general, is that, you don't really understand a single fucking thing they're saying. So it's kind of
Open for interpretation.
It's just a big bipedal dog that's barking at you for something.
In like comic books I've seen, because in the comic books you can just give them a line of text. You can just subtitle them.
Yeah, you could do that. Or if it was, like what they probably should have done with the holiday special, where when it was the Wookiee only scenes, they should have added like subtitles or something. But in hindsight, I guess let's see what we got here. Shirtless Jedi not using the Force, catching the shit sister, the suicide potion, the fat Jedi are some highlights. What? AR, did we miss something? Was there a fat Jedi and a shit sister and a suicide potion? Was there all this? And an unaliving potion?
Suicide potion.
Okay.
Maybe. Alright.
Yeah.
This was done at like what should be like 4 or 5 in the morning for me.
Yeah. Yeah, that went on.
And was like
unfortunate.
assigned as like emergency homework at like the last second. I was just like, oh.
I was supposed to be on board with it too, but I'm just not waking up. So yeah, it just didn't work out. But I'll have to get my homework in like next week or something. So
the show did not survive the 10-second test.
10-second test.
Yeah.
Wow.
Click, 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 click. Oh, click, 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 click. Click, 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 click. Click.
Now I've got to show him Smiling Friends. I need to know if Smiling Friends passes the 10-second test.
It does.
Oh, sweet. You've seen Smiling Friends, then?
Yeah.
I mean, there it is right there. Smiling Friends saves television. That's all I can say.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Well, that thing which we use to, watch that other show that starts with X, ends with men, that probably has Smiling Friends. So we definitely need to watch that, because it is funny. Oh, it's so good. It is so good.
Okay.
It is so good.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Sounds good. So the guy who made X-Men has made a bunch of like statements on Twitter, and people are trying to like discredit what he's saying because they don't like the messages, and it's not the people you would expect.
Oh, so what exactly has he said?
He said that people were straight washing Morph's intentions of what he meant when he tells Wolverine that he loves Wolverine, and that they were trying and that they were trying to play it off.
Straight wash.
They were trying.
No, I think.
No, that people were trying
that's
to.
Pretty obvious.
No, that he said that people were trying. People were trying to what is it? People were trying to say that it's plutonic. Don't immediately think that it's sexual. Don't try to say that Morph's gay, sort of thing. And then the director kind of comes out and just like, no, that's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was. And so the people who are saying, that's wrong and are going against the director are not the people who you would expect it to be, let's just say. Right? They're the same people that say, if you don't like the new X-Men show because you think it's woke, then you're the friends of humanity, sort of thing. Those are the same people saying
again,
it.
we've got full circle. Oh, we've got somebody else in the chat here.
Yeah.
He's muted.
It auto-muted him, it looks like.
Oh shit. Well, that's your decision there, Slave.
Oh, we got somebody fresh here. Let's take a look here.
Is it someone new?
It is.
Well,
it's a friend of mine. He's
We'll
pretty
see.
cool.
Oh, sweet.
Let's bring him on board. All right.
Back
Well,
off, Alpha, if
welcome
you
aboard,
can vouch for it.
pirate.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
how
don't
you guys
know.
doing? Yeah, sorry, I had 3 people talking at once here, so I don't know what you guys said, but hello.
Welcome aboard.
Hello.
Okay, welcome aboard. Yeah, I just jumped in to see what was going on in here. So.
Oh, well, we're doing a live stream.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just jumped on in, so I was just seeing what's going on. Like I said,
Just let you know we're broadcasting right now.
Yeah, it's basically all we do on the show is we complain about new stuff.
And modern television.
God,
Yeah.
I don't even know what the topic is.
We were talking about the Acolyte. Mostly AR was talking about it because he's the only one that did homework.
He's the one who's seen it. Yeah.
This is one of those school presentations. This is one of those like school presentations where he does the entire thing. The rest of us completely didn't do any of the homework, and then we all.
You mean every one I've done? Every single one?
Right, and he made the whole board, the whole display. He did all the research, and then we're all just kind of standing there next to him, going, Yeah.
See, I had to do every single one, and I was the only one who could like present it because every time I was the only one in the group with a coherent speech pattern, so it was up to me always.
Yeah, that show sounds like hot garbage. And so does a
The
lot
Halo
of things.
TV show does better at least trying to reroute Star Wars than this. This is like a complete
God, saying that the Halo TV show is better is a sentence of all time, man. Like to show, like it truly exemplifies how bad the Acolyte is.
Well, there's two shows that did that recently, and then one that succeeded without needing to do it at all. There's the travesty that was Star Trek Picard, right? Where the first 2 seasons were just brutal in what they're trying to get across to an audience, how they're trying to entertain their audiences, any messages or the message that they're trying to put into their shit, right? Like those that's what the whole first 2 things was, and it was just a fucking dumpster fire, like double stacked dumpster fire. And then the third one was this like. And it wasn't, people were calling it a love letter to the fans. No, it was a drunken apology letter. Or it was a next day from drunk texts apology letter sort of thing. That was presented as in the way that it probably should have always been from the start. So they backpedaled to make something that people would actually enjoy and not be divisive and fight over. Then there's Halo, where they did the nearly the same thing, where they have loser Master Chief in a fucking prison cell looking like the Punisher from the fucking Marvel shows, and then they have, of course, an army of strong female women fucking Master Chiefs, which they're all way better than Master Chief, and they also can kick his ass and do regularly, in nearly embarrassing ways. And then finally at the very end of it, do they have a scene that finally has Master Chief, like I'm just gonna call him John Spartan because that's not his name, is it? Is that his real name? So either way,
No.
so John Spartan the John Spartan John Spartan the
John
Demolition
Spartan
Man.
is the guy from Demolition Man.
Yeah, John Spartan, the Demolition Man, walks in and he starts just like kicking a room of alien ass by himself in the most like Michael Jackson dancing around a battlefield way, like only Master Chief could do. You know, where everything is just perfectly timed in this brilliantly dramatic way that is right out of like a game. Like, it was only at the end did they truly understand the power of the dark side. And then they did it, right? And then, what's the third one? Fallout, where it didn't need to do any of that shit, and it just did it right from the start. So, I don't know, like, that makes me worried about, like, did that Warhammer show get canceled? Is Henry Cavill gonna be, like, flying Boeing or something? Like, what's going on with that one?
No one knows. No one knows. As of now, we can't really say anything because no one knows what the fuck's going on with the show.
It almost sounds like it's dead. It's gonna be one of those things that some people are just gonna dance or they're just gonna keep up the rights to or something at the end of their term, so that way they don't lose the rights to it. Like, they'll wait until their contract like is about to expire, and then they'll make some piece of shit, which then allows them to keep it for the next like what is it, 5, 10, 12, 24 years, whatever, how many years these things last, right? And then that's what we'll end up seeing, because like I'm guessing if there's some kind of deal in mind, I'm guessing Amazon now has the rights to make a Warhammer thing.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
if they're not gonna just jump on it or do it, or if it seems like it's dead, then yeah, they're gonna just hold on to that, until until it expires, and then just get the fuck rid of it. Because why would they keep it?
Until they can find a way to make it pay out. But they're not gonna.
Evil cannot create; it can only corrupt.
That's right. Is that Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Rings of Desperation.
The Rings of Desperation. Evil cannot create; it can only corrupt. Right. And it's funny because what has been happening to like our favorite franchises? They haven't been. Nothing new has been made. It's just been corrupted. Oh, they've taken the old stuff that other people made and corrupted it. Yeah, it's the Harvey Dent syndrome, where you see yourself you die a hero, or live long a villain, or you die. Yeah.
Well, how about this? Maximilian saying that The Boys is excellent. Well, I mean, let's apply that same formula. Imagine The Boys is really successful for a while, and it's really good, and then it's around for a while. And what does that mean inevitably for The Boys? That it's going to become shit.
Yeah.
It either has to end while it's still good, or it keeps going until it's Icarus, right? Flying too close to the sun, or right, and then right, once it gets to once you fly too close to the sun, you're just gonna fall down, crash, and die, right? So you have to be at that perfect height and then you end, and then you're looked back on fondly, rather than looked at currently and will be looked at in the future negatively. Right? Like everything else. Like, let's just say, imagine the alternate parallel universe where they never made fucking Phantom Menace. And all the rest of that shit never existed. There was just Star Wars, like, 1, 2, and 3, I'm just gonna call them, just for the simplicity of this, right? Wouldn't people look back on Star Wars with more of a fond kindness to this trilogy, this classic cinematic trilogy, than they would look back on it now? Even if you might go, oh, it's the original trilogy, how can you blame them? Well, I guess guilt by association in this sense, because now if the whole of Star Wars is tainted, ruined, and is now trash, that would have to include them. But now in this alternate universe where nothing ever got ruined by anything, No one ever got mad about midichlorians or Qui-Gon Jinn or like the love story and like I love sand or I hate sand or like any of that shit. You know what I mean? There was never a Kenobi. There was never a Grogu. There was never an Ahsoka show. There was never the fucking even like I guess the holiday special would have still existed. But you know what? Let's just wipe that out too. This is a parallel universe. I can make up whatever rules to this universe I want. And you know, we never had Shadows of the Empire video game. We never had any of that kind of shit. There was nothing of the sort. It was just those three things. I think that it would be looked at in a more kind light because it would be one of these classic treasures that never got tainted. It stayed good, it aged well, and then that's it. It didn't have to come back for a new season, which absolutely fucks it.
We kept going. We should have left it. We kept going. It was too good.
Well, it happens with everything and anything. Like, hold on, is the stream dying or something? Something's going on here. Or is it a bad connection or something's going on here?
Uh-oh.
Or maybe it just keeps buffering on that one. I don't know. Let's see if I can
It must be the shadow government.
If I can get some checks from the chat. How's the stream quality? Is anyone getting buffering or freezing, or is there any sort of skips or anything? If you could let me know in the chat, that would be awesome. Thank you. Thank you in advance. But like, I don't know, like, some people will disagree with me on this one. But how about this? What if Mortal Kombat, the game series, was left at Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3? Would it ever have gotten to the point where you could say it's gotten bad because now it's like, Spawn, we need you and Goku's help to help us defeat Blue's Clues and Shao Kahn because
we should have left it at we should have left it at was it Deception? Yeah, we should have left it at Deception and then just ended it there because like after the one that came after that was Armageddon, and then the company that made Mortal Kombat, Midway, they got bought out by somebody else. So, you know, most of the passion kind of left. So it really should have ended there. And we'll pretend that Mortal Kombat versus DC never happened. That didn't happen. That didn't happen. It's not real.
I mean,
Mortal Kombat
how about just the movies?
DC never happened.
Let's just
more.
It's so as simple as just the movies, the first two movies. How about Mortal Kombat the movie, which people parade as a brilliant movie representing the source material from like the 90s, blah blah blah, and then Mortal Kombat 2, which completely ruins it.
Yeah.
Right? Sometimes there's never leaving good enough alone because now you've not just opened the bottle to try to catch lightning twice, you let out the lightning. Right? Mm-hmm. If you try to catch lightning twice in the same bottle, then suddenly, you risk the chance of that lightning coming out, you're gone. So, like sometimes you just need to let good enough be alone and then either just drop it or do something adaptive, like an adaptation or something different. Don't try to, you know what I mean? It would be harder to do something like that. It would be harder to do something like that with Star Wars, I think. You know, to be honest. What was that?
Don't continue on down the same damnation path.
Well, how about this? Did there need to be so many Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street movies?
No.
Did there need to be a 3D Nightmare on Elm Street movie?
No.
How many Child's Play movies are there, and do there need to be that many?
No.
Would it have been better if it was just maybe just the first movie in some of these cases?
Yeah.
So you never leave good enough alone, and then suddenly, like a good thing turns into just marketing in a way, and it becomes not what it was that built it up. It's almost like a tree that turns around and then grows into this, like its leaves start growing into the ground. Like it goes, its trunk goes up, but then it starts curving over and starts growing underground, and it becomes something that it wasn't. It's not. It's becoming the opposite of the thing that built it up in the first place. And so why do that? And I don't know. I really can't think of many reasons other than it's either intentional or it's not, right? That's pretty black and white. It's either intentional or it's not. If it's intentional, it's malicious. If it's not, then it's negligence.
Yeah.
So, is it negligence or is it malice? And generally, I guess the adage goes that it's better to assume negligence over malice, I believe. So, what that pretty much comes into, Maximilian says it's malice, and I'm not going to say you're wrong on this one. Let's just go through the logic here.
I knew this was connected to the Bloodhounds lore somehow.
Where's that ban button? Where's that ban? Oh, let's see. Where is it?
I still had one in me.
Oh, where is it? Ban Jackler one. Ban him. Ban him. Okay. So it's either, it's one or the other, and you generally assume ignorance or negligence over malice, but in a lot of these cases, I genuinely think that it's the we can't compete with the Titans. So the only way that we can rise ourselves up is to knock down the Titans at the knees. Kind of like there was that one the episode of that new X-Men, and Charles Xavier's is talking to these people, and he's like, you break people's knees and make them think that you can help them walk again. And it's kind of like the same thing, where it's you rise yourself up by knocking everybody else down. And it's, how there's all these characters that people have enjoyed and appreciated for a long time, and that they've shit on them, but they didn't just shit on them out of nowhere. There was also a series of a bunch of really shitty characters that came out that were part of this new wave of characters that people just didn't like. And what were they competing against? They were competing against the Terminators, the Luke Skywalkers, the Indiana Joneses. They were competing against old Tomb Raider, Ripley. They were competing against all these things that were like the champions that people appreciated of old. And then you just have to, you ruin those things. So if you can't compete with them, you shit on them until they suck and people don't like them anymore. So now suddenly people are going to go, maybe this America Chavez character, who literally is a Hispanic character with the superpower of crossing borders, isn't so bad after all. So, they make that you have to shit on the past. It's Kylo Ren. It's Kylo Ren. Sometimes you have to kill the past.
Kill the past.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nacho! Right? This. They're literally destroying the characters. That you have to destroy the past to build up a new future with new Titans that people look up to, these characters. I mean, look at what, if you think about the Avengers, and I'm not talking about the movies just yet. Imagine the Avengers before the movies came out. What they looked like, what their characters were like, what their characters talked and acted like, all of that. And then they made these series of movies where they have made this new sort of breed of modernized the Avengers, which are also just a joke, right? They're all just a complete fucking shadow of what they were, and so now, Thor's had it the worst.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Thor is, I want to say, unrecognizable to what Thor was prior to these movies. Um, it's insane how much this has changed the character. I don't know how much it's done it universally and how, but like I imagine in the public perception it has though, right? Even if like most people aren't reading these comics, and they're not like backdating comics, and they're not, you know what I mean? They're not watching every single bit of media and everything that comes out. And it's not like there's been a lot of Avengers shit coming out, but
Yeah.
the main public opinion right now, in the mind of probably most people, of who is Thor, it's Chris Hemsworth.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And it's that Thor. It's Fat Thor. It's like biker Thor with the Guardians of the Galaxy. He's having a weird relationship with his old hammer Thor. Right? Like, it's all of that sort of shit. And his speech patterns, just everything about him is just completely different. And it's one of those. It's like that. What is it like? Now you're just somebody that I used to know. Like it's like that song.
Yeah.
It's almost like and even like like how they have that paint on them where they're almost like a shattered mirror. Like Thor now is this shattered mirror, like fucking Call of Duty Nazi zombies, of what Thor used to be. This like nearly schizophrenic character that has no identity and is just whatever the writer wants them to be. Also, Taiki Waititi or whatever, you're trash and please never make another movie. Oh my god, I hate that guy so much now. Oh my god, he's terrible. He's terrible. Somehow this is going to end up on his desk and he's one to watch and he's going to be like, oh yeah, this guy thinks I should stop making movies, huh? And then he's going to like make this scene and it's going to be replicating this thing. Yeah.
Well, you see, he's going to make the Slate the Space Marine biopic.
Yeah, it's going to...
You are played by Billy Mitchell.
Sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
Billy Mitchell. So I heard he's going to court with that Australian guy.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it.
I mean, it's all... I'm just going to slap just like a forever alleged on the rest of the conversation, just for like, you know what I mean? So that way there's no sort of problems there, right?
I hope Billy Mitchell doesn't sue us.
The rest of the remaining conversation about Billy Mitchell and the recent events is all alleged claims and is not necessarily expressing legal facts that would be permissible in court. Okay. So yeah, what's his name? Carl, is it Jobst or is it Jobst? Jobst?
Like
He's a good speedrunning YouTuber. Yeah, I think I've seen some of his stuff. He's going to court with Billy Mitchell. He's allegedly going to court with allegedly Billy Mitchell, which is his alleged name.
We think it could be Slate the Space Marine. He could be going to court with Slate the Space Marine, allegedly.
I could be, and just let the beard kind of grow out a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Should I start playing
like the suit on?
Do I need to start playing Donkey Kong, and get it on fucking, I don't know. What would it be called? What was it called? What was it that he used?
What
He played Donkey Kong on something, and the emulator. Yeah, what's it called? It was called
the board.
Motherfucker, what was it called? Whatever, he used it on an emulator. So you know what I would do? Okay, I might be able to do something if I made some Billy Mitchell video, right? Or I could get like a suit on, grow the beard out a little bit, and then make some like virtual background, kind of like I did with the Command and Conquer thing, where I have like a Donkey Kong machine, and then in the screen it would just kind of show my desktop with like DOSBox or something open. Right? Alright, time to get this new world record. Oh man, that would be brutal. Billy Mitchell sues Slaith. Wow, that would suck.
That could be the next skit. Billy Mitchell sues Slaith.
So then would I play myself and Billy Mitchell? I would have like
Yeah.
hello, I am Billy Mitchell. Hello, hi Billy, you're the Donkey Kong
No,
Pac-Man guy.
like to record yourself, right? You need to record yourself like right now when the beard isn't fully grown out, and
Yeah.
then you fully grow the beard out, and then you record the Billy Mitchell parts.
Sir.
We can discuss the details. Do we need to get
Yeah.
AI to generate a script or something?
Yeah,
The AI generated Billy
Absolutely.
Mitchell Slaith
the
skit.
AI generated Billy Mitchell Slaith special.
But how would it get to that point? It would have to have the cabinet thing first, right? Which then, as the beginning of it, which then leads to the phone call from Billy, right?
Ooh.
Or would it? You know what? We need to no. We need to change the name so that way, it's based off of a true story, and so it's
We need to change the name
his
so
name-
like it's not Billy
it's
Mitchell, so
Mi-
it's
it's-
legally distinct.
Millie Bitchell.
No. So regular show had this same bit. They did a riff on Billy Mitchell, where there's this guy who looks like Billy Mitchell, but he's this giant floating head, and he's this giant floating head that is very specifically made to look like Billy Mitchell,
Yeah.
and they call him Garrett Bobby Ferguson.
I don't know. I kind of like Millie Bitchell.
Yeah.
I think it works. If no one's done it before, I think Millie Bitchell would be a great one. So would it still be Donkey Kong and Pac-Man and shit?
Yeah.
You're the world record leader of Donkey Man and Pac-Man Donkey Pac-Man.
Donkey Man and Pac Kong.
On wait. Pac Kong and yeah, Donkey Kang. Wait, what is it? Oh man, but yeah, the Billy Mitchell. That's an interesting one, considering that he's kind of like perjured himself allegedly. Already, hasn't he? Oh, did you sneeze? Did he die? Did the feds get him?
Sorry about that. Billy Mitchell got me.
Oh shit! It's like you must cease. I got a cease and desist email from Billy Mitchell saying you can't respond to that question.
Yeah.
Oh jeez. Now we know who's in Jackler's pockets. It's Billy Mitchell, allegedly.
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 Now you know who I control.
According to a client confidential source that I can't disclose.
A list.
I am in contempt of this chat. I can't give up that information. Yeah, Billy Mitchell. I guess that's pretty much it. That's right.
There's something else that just popped in my mind when we were talking about it. So I don't know how it came up. It's pretty old news now, but so Wizards of the Coast, who owns D&D, they're doing like a new. It's not really a new edition. It's kind of just like a new book with like a revision of rules, some shit like that. So it's not really a new edition. It's just some balance changes, stuff like that. In it, they have now completely removed half races from the game. And I remember them saying some shit like that. They believe that half races could like be offensive or are inherently racist or something like that. Because that's a great mess. That's a great message.
Right.
Wizards of the Coast supports racial purity.
Well, even better than that.
Remember, guys. According to Wizards of the Coast, if you're mixed race, you are part of the problem.
They
wow.
want to get rid of shamans, druids.
Yeah, they got rid of shamans, druids. They want to like fucking probably change it to something else.
Wow.
It makes no fucking sense at all. And like, to be fair, it's not like it matters because people are just gonna go back to the regular 5th edition rules and just use that instead. But still, though, it's just ridiculous. And there was another thing where it's like I don't remember the exact name of it. I think it was like this player book from like 2nd edition um, that had like this red dragon on the front. There was like this sort of barbarian.
It's D&D. They all have a red dragon on the front. Fuck's sake.
Okay, well you get what I mean, all right. Shut the fuck up. Anyway, there was like this red dragon on front. There's like this barbarian guy fighting the dragon, right? But then the barbarian has like his back turned, and so now, I think it was just this year or last year, like to commemorate the fucking like I don't know 50th anniversary or of the book or of D&D, whatever the fuck it was. They released like this miniature of the barbarian guy, but then it's a woman, and they go like, well, you see, it was always a girl on the cover.
Oh.
She just had her back turned.
Okay.
And then the actual artist that made the cover, that drew the cover, he was like, no, I'm pretty sure I made it a guy. I mean, you can interpret it any way you want, but it was a guy.
No.
Gary-
From behind, you were only able to see the barbarian's physical self. But from the front, because it's the month for that, you were able to see the barbarian's inner true self, their inner personal truth as to who they were, which was always a woman. You see, it's not about the journey, but it's about the destination.
It's so funny that they go like, well, it was actually always the artist's intention for it to be a woman, and then he goes, no, it really isn't. The actual guy just goes, no.
Yeah, no, that's
Like,
not what I created. That's
no. I think I would remember that. It's kind of it's the Femme Stoties thing all over again. It's repeating. It's growing.
It's becoming self-aware that it knows that it can win with this victory, and so it's applying it in some of the most obvious ways. It's definitely got that Ministry of Truth sort of vibe to it, right? Or the like, how many lights do you see? Cardassian interrogation, where it's like, how many lights do you see? There's 4 lights. No, there's 5 lights. There was always 5 lights. Ever since the original 1,000 light Stoties, there was always 5 lights. Like, that's why if you look at these lights from the other side, these 5 lights were always a woman. And as long as that victory works, as long as that if they can break, what is it, populations en masse with this type of gaslighting, to then be able to bend the knee to it and raise the fist in solidarity to the message, then like they've won. As long as that, like, it's the fucking brainwashing of the masses to then have to the theys, like, to have the theys and the thems. I was gonna say to have the thems and us's.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
It's them versus us, yeah.
To have the them versus us. And I don't. I'm at a loss for words on that one. But it's one thing after another that they have to wipe out and destroy. And, like, how about this? How did Spider-Man get his powers? Was it because of something that happened to him by happenstance? Or was it because his mom was some super scientist, spider scientist in the fucking, in like Brazil?
I was researching spiders.
Right.
Fuck, that movie's so bad.
So she could, like, create the perfect team of spider lesbians to be able, like,
God,
like, so, so the it just kind of becomes the rinse and repeat of, it was always this way. It's the South Park, it's the Kathleen Kennedy thing, right? Like, the put a chick in it and make it gay and lame. And that seems to be happening again and again and again and again with a lot of this different stuff that comes out. And it's interesting. Simpsons predict it. Well, their age is over. Simpsons is done. Right now, now the people who listen to the true TV tarot are the ones that watch South Park. And so I don't know. It's everything's turning into shit, and it's not because of cynicism. It's because of but then of course it's always like but cultures change and things change. The future is now, old man. This is what it's like now, and it's like it's interesting that things turned from what would it be? Civility, civility, taste, and a little bit of class into browbeating people with veiled thin messaging.
Mm-hmm.
Like you might it might as well just be a hammer hidden under a fucking doily. Is like how subtle it is. And it's like what's the point of it? What's the purpose of it? Other than just to like you got to check the boxes because that's what the people here that are producing it are saying, this is what's really working with all of these polls. A lot of people were saying that there's not enough of the inclusiveness of this, or that they didn't feel like our questions were not also slanted in a way that would make people answer in a way that kind of leads us in this way anyway. But it's we've got to change this stuff. And it's like, well, do the fan base actually want that? No, we asked like a survey of like 35-year-old single moms, right? Like what they thought.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, okay, that's great. Yeah, about 45% of them identified as having purple hair, and the other 30% said blue, and the other 21 said disqualified because they voted yes to voting for Trump. Like, so, yeah, I don't know. It's going down this deliberate road of everything needs to be just crap. And I mean, like, what's it going to lead to? Is it going to lead to is this the normalization that they'd be seeking? Right? Like, once you make everything crap, then they can just make any old crap because everything is crap. That's so it's so whatever their crap is normalized. Like, is that what they're looking for? When
Won't be able to tell it apart.
Where do you think this all goes to 20 years from now?
Well, that's a question.
I think that it kind of also falls back to sometimes you need to know when to stop and when to like, it's like I said, like, what is it, like 30 minutes ago. Sometimes you need to know when to stop and when to get enough success for yourself until you see yourself become the bad guy. And if let's say the wokies, the wokies, it's like a fucking Saturday morning cartoon, right? Like oh, it's Wokenald and the wokies, and it's like in a fucking daycare. So when let's just say 20 years of them getting win after win after win after win, and now we're living in wokeland, right? Well, if it goes too far, it could double down on itself. If people say everything sucks ass now because of this, I could almost see things getting to a point where like I said with Icarus, you fly too high to the sun and you fall. You either see yourself become the hero or the bad guy. You go just far enough for the sake of social change and whatever without making yourself the bad guy. Because then if it goes so far, too far, and then all of a sudden there's a great regression as to all the successes and wins that they'd had over whatever X amount of years in this future prediction sort of thing, then suddenly things might like double down the other way. And like and I'm not trying to make that sound like a good or bad thing, just that it's like almost the up and down, the back and forth of like, the fight of social whatever. If you think of even just over the last century, from decade to decade the identities of these different people over time, and how just this like the I don't know, the the vibes of it, you know, where things were a little bit more left right left right left right sort of thing, back and forth, although things are kind of slowly creeping towards the left. So it's, which is, I guess, par for the course for sort of the nature of left and right points of view. Slow progressive, slow gradual change versus rapid progressive change, I think, something like that. Yeah, but now we're getting into the fucking theory of it, and you know, I'm sure that that's entertaining for everyone at home, right? If you're munching on your popcorn going, oh man, he just mentioned slow gradual and fast progressive change, this is quite the intellectual Saturday night show.
Consequences.
You know, this really refers back to Karl Marx's works. But I mean, like, I think if it goes too far, then it's almost like it's once again like South Park, where it's like, oh, I guess everything's gone PC again. How long do you think this is gonna last for? Oh, I don't know. I imagine about 4 years, right? And then, you know, it's like it's not like it's not the truth, and you know, like things kind of going back and forth, where you know, where it's generally acceptable one way or more the other way, and back and forth. It's just the nature of the game, of the ping pong table sort of thing. And I don't know, with TV and media and all that, I don't know. I imagine that there's a lot of different shows and movie series and things that were alive at a certain point in the last like 30 years, let's just say. Generally the 90s or the early 2000s, and everything that has a beginning has an end, Neo. And not everything is a forever baby. You know, not everything is your fucking, you know, like the golden goose that just keeps laying eggs for eternity. It just doesn't work that way. So would a lot of the things that we now recognize today, not everything, I'm just gonna say, but like, would a lot of the things that we recognize as like, oh yeah, that this is like the new series that like, or this is the series that it's been around forever, it'll last forever. Didn't people probably think the same fucking thing about The Shadow back in the fucking like the 20s or the 40s or whatever, right? Like the old school kind of Batman like character, The Shadow. You know what I mean? They probably thought that he'd be the fucking main star attraction, Robin Hood and fucking all these characters. No one gives a fuck about Robin Hood anymore, right? 20, 30 years, maybe people will give a shit about Robin Hood. Maybe there'll be this whole new Robin Hood cinematic universe that everyone's fucking like gawking over. But like, for now, like we you know, we're definitely, you know, we are temporal beings that live in the chronological moment of which that we are currently conscious. So, you know, we live in the now, and we see what exists, and 20, 30 years from now, we might not even notice it, like the frog in the fucking boiling water, where 20 years from now, we might not even notice that there's no more, I don't know, that there's no more Star Wars movies. There's no more Star Trek or Avenger Marvel movies. There's no more fuck, I don't know what's still running. There's no more Simpsons and Family Guy. Maybe there's no more
good thing at this point, to be honest.
Maybe there's no more movie theaters. Maybe there's no more movies. Right? Maybe they're more rare. Maybe, you know, they're now like double everything's more streaming service in the future. And now, you know, there's like specials. You know what I mean? Instead of a movie, it's like, you know, instead of an hour-long episode, it's like a 2-hour-long or 3-hour-long special event, long thing. And it's not even called a movie anymore. You know, who knows? Maybe in 20 or 30 years, we're all like robo-brains in like a radioactive wasteland. So 20 years from now, a lot of the things that we would be like, if we were to zap into the future 20 years from now, it would be like, hey, where's like, when's the new Batman movie coming out? And it's like, there hasn't been a Batman movie in 20 years, since exactly the point that you traveled into the future. You can only now go back in time and change the events, like Chrono Trigger, to make it so that there will be
You
more
have
Batman.
to go back in time and make a Batman movie.
Exactly. So, 20 years from now, I don't know, we're probably going to see a whole new different series of things. Did anyone predict in the 90s or even the early 2000s the Saw movies? Saw by itself was an interesting standalone, but then imagine the Saw movies. Did anyone expect there to be a Walking Dead TV show, Game of Thrones, even the Avengers movies, these things, like, did anyone expect any of these things really? They were all a bunch of would-be nices until they were what we got. And thinking 20 years from now, like, who knows, there's going to be Wrench, and then it's going to be this brilliant movie, Wrench, and it's going to be the Wrench series, where there's the killer that kills you with a wrench. Right? And everyone's going to applaud it as this brilliant movie series 20 years from now, and we're sitting here going, well, what the fuck? That sounds fucking stupid. But then 20 years from now, let's say you meet yourself 20 years from now, and it's like, what, you don't like the Wrench series? It's brilliant. You know what I mean? And it's like, but it doesn't make sense. It's a movie about a guy with a wrench. Oh, you just don't understand. You're going to have to wait until you see the movies. It's going to be hard to say, because it's going to be cultural climate, etc., etc., etc. But then again, old dogs learning tricks, by that time, right? It's maybe the people, the wokies of today will be the old men of tomorrow by that point. And then they'll be the ones...
Maybe they'll become just like us.
They'll be the ones that will be saying that there are people going too far. And that's where there's the end of my opinion on that one, because that's pretty much been my whole point the whole time. But in a circular way that was just meant for entertainment purposes. And yeah. So what do you guys think? Do you guys have any thoughts on that one?
I think you're probably right. They'll eventually become like us. It's kind of an inevitability. Maybe they will be the ones who are like gatekeeping.
Well, it's I think a trend that's followed that when people get older, they tend to lean more conservatively. They tend to like, as people get older, they tend to lean more to the right than they would have to the left previously. There are some people, of course, that double down because, of course, they need to fight for the greater good and for the fucking party, right? But then general things tend to lean more to the right. So the people who are the wokies of today, a good portion of them 20 years from now are going to be the ones that are like, this shit's fucking crazy, right? Why is there a parade now for fucking bestiality? Oh, it's the Bestiality Pride Parade. Well, you're not a bigot, are you? And it sounds ridiculous, and it sounds, oh wow, how could you even say that? You're comparing all these different people that have been oppressed and suppressed and beaten and horribly treated for years, to people, and it's like, no, I maybe I am, maybe I'm not, but I'm just saying, 20 years from now with a bunch of social change, 1 + 1, you get there plus another plus of ones and like a 7, and math is also racist and colonialist, so 1 + 1 can equal 7. So, once we get to that point, you might say, well, maybe social change has gotten a little bit too far. Like the 20 years from now, these same people are going to be like, I had some thoughts when they added P to the LGBT, but I suppose that they made some convincing arguments. But this second B is going too far, right? Like, in this weird dystopian future now, right, where they've gone too fucking far.
Well, it's not even the letter; it's a emoji bumblebee.
Oh no, it's a kid's birthday hat. No, it's got to be something. Yeah. No, it's got to be something.
It's not even a bee. It's like, yeah.
No, it's a baby. It's a picture of a baby, right? Just gotta make it as dark as possible. And geez, was there a fire going on outside? Oh wow,
it's Winnipeg.
Wow, it's got it's one of those like orange sunset sort of time. Because what time is it now? It's turning 10, So it's got one of those like the sky is all orange sort of thing, right? It's really nice. It's really, central North American continental, nowhere near any sort of ocean, Caribbean sky. it's really, it really all circles back to Monkey Island. Did I ever tell you about Monkey Island? No. Oh man. Fuck. Monkey Island. So you guys are really you guys really don't want me to do the Fate of Atlantis, hey? I was watching some.
No.
40 minutes is what I saw some really good runners doing it in. So I'd probably be doing it.
Really good runners should probably be executed.
They should they should find something better to do with their life. They should. Wow. How to insert Monkey Island into every conversation by Slafe. Yeah, that sounds about right, Curry. That sounds about right. Monkey Island.
He just kind of goes up to, all of a sudden like Slafe will do like a factory reset, and then he looks directly into the camera close up and goes, "Hi, I'm Gabber Sleepwood. I'm new in town."
AR, we played D&D once, right?
Yep.
How many times did my character say, "Hi, I'm new in town"?
Oh, you did it twice.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
You did it twice. You did it twice.
I slipped it into D&D, and nobody knew it. It was awesome.
We should play D&D sometime because my group has a fucked schedule, so I've got plenty of time.
So like Discord D&D sort of thing, like there should be a Bloodhounds chapter D&D group meeting sort of thing, right? If you're not part of the Discord,
what we're doing on
link in the description below. Well, I mean,
on Saturdays.
Well, there would have to be a figure it out on that one. Or what if After Dark was half D&D?
We could even stream it. Yeah. Stream the D&D session. Slave. People love it when you stream D&D. People love that.
Half, like, we could make the After Dark could be there's the discussion part and then the D&D. So it's D&D and D.
Oh my god, yeah. We have to see how I'm for time because obviously I don't want to go too late, but it could be a possibility.
Well, I mean it's Saturday, so we can almost even make it earlier, right? Where it's bye guy.
Yeah, it was one of my friends. I invited him over here.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he realized that it was during the stream.
It's all good. Hey, you know what? That's why it happens. That's why we're going to be rolling out a certain roll, rolling monkey, and we're gonna for After Dark, so that way it's a little bit more automated. Probably have to talk to Vanthgar about it, but that's why that's gonna get put there. Jeez, where were we though? Fuck, I went on a fucking tangent.
We were on D&D, yeah, but I think it could work. We'll have to conversate, see how it is. But ever since I've played a few weeks ago, first time, I'm definitely into it.
I guess we couldn't really do it earlier because then that would probably cut into like your when you eat and stuff. And
I mean, I can.
It would either be.
I mean, I eat like pretty early. It's not. It wouldn't be a problem for me, I don't think.
Well, we could figure out scheduling in the future, and
yeah.
That could be a thing because it's all hypothetical right now.
This is in the idea.
This is all hypothetical as well, right? Because I'm sure we would need to get the books and like the resources and everything to play this game. Like I have none of these things, so I'm sure that this would need to be acquired and figured out. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Right? You see what I'm saying? This would need to be figured out.
I technically don't have any of them either. I just a bunch of them in PDF.
Well, that's really all you need.
That's all you. It's like, hey, do you really want to give Wizards of the Coast money? Come on.
Well, beyond that, like, since this is like the Warhammer channel, or it's kind of like a Warhammer adjacent channel and stuff like that. There are other D&D games that one could try to play, or D&D-esque games that we could try to play.
Yep.
That might be more fitting.
Deathwatch, Rogue Trader, and is there another one?
Dark Heresy,
Dark Heresy.
Only War.
Oh, there's 4?
There's more than that even.
Well, I mean, even if you were just to homebrew it, you could just take, like, almost any of the, like, what is it, post sort of advanced D&D, so like 3rd edition, 3.5, any of those, and then take, like, the Spycraft rulebook, and then just use, like, guns with D&D monsters, because, like, an orc in D&D is more or less an orc from Warhammer. Am I not that far off on that? Like you saw the artwork, you know what I mean? They're pretty, at least the artwork at the
they look similar, yeah.
They're pretty much the same. So I mean, like, as long as you're just being a little bit creative with what's existing here, and now all of a sudden it's Warhammer, but you're fighting like vampires and shit. You know what I mean? So like, it kind of makes it a little bit more expansive. It's almost like you're getting to do, you know, the unwritten missions of fucking Warhammer. Because you're getting to fight other shit as well. You just have to have a creative, you know, DM sort of thing.
Mm.
That one maze area in that game is insane, though. I remember you spent like 2 hours on that. The maze.
Oh god, it's from fucking Fate of Atlantis. Oh.
Oh
God.
Jesus! Oh, the fucking yeah.
You're killing me. Whoever said that, you're killing me. Stop.
Oh my god.
Stop.
Oh
You
shit!
killed Jackler. You've killed Jackler.
Quick, delete your comment so he doesn't see you in the chat. Delete your comment.
You son of a bitch. Who are you? I'm opening it up right now. Who the fuck are you?
Oh, he says bye, Jackler. Oh man. So
It's fucking
Yeah.
Curry. I knew it.
it's fucking Curry. He's got the power of E protecting him.
Well, I have the power of F.
Yeah, but who can E and who can F in the chat first? Whoever E's or F's in the chat first wins.
Oh
Curry E'd.
damn, that's crazy.
He got you. He got you, Jackler. I think he wins on
I
this
would
one.
wager that F is more powerful, though.
F is the more powerful move, and E is more easily achieved, but the competition was to do it first. So,
Well,
And
you
it's
see,
like who should work.
I put down my F and then I flip it sideways, then I turn it over. It is now a G, which allows me to redo my turn.
oh shit, he's got a redo. He fucking used an Uno reverse card.
My turn, so I now press F, and therefore,
Oh, shit.
I technically did it first, though.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh no.
But will we actually see an F in the chat by Curry before your F? Because you typed the E and then you said F is more used before you typed your F.
No, but see, he doesn't have F in his deck.
You gotta use the heart of the
could,
cards.
course-
You
yeah,
gotta
he
use
could
the heart of
try
the
and
cards,
use-
Curry. You gotta use the
He
same.
could try and use like a D to try and like steal my F.
You gotta use the
but I
G
could
card.
counter-
You gotta use the G
Yeah.
to do the redo, Curry.
Yeah.
Use the same move that Jackler did. Use the G, and then you use the F. It's like, there we go. Oh, he's did it. Oh, he did. Oh, he fucking wiped out
Oh my god.
KO.
Oh, how did a noob like get a card like that?
How was he able to use Exodia against my Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon? That's right, Kaiba. I have way better cards than you, because my grandpa owns a card store, and you're just some kind of weird millionaire. Like, why don't you have this whole set? What's wrong with you? I'm just some kid. I have schizophrenia and think I'm an Egyptian pharaoh. Yeah, it's kind of weird that I'm hanging out with a bunch of kids playing card games. Yeah, it is pretty weird, Kaiba. Like, what the fuck? Fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! You got it, Yugs! Thanks, Joey, my retarded cousin friend. Like, oh my god. Now this show's 18 plus because I probably said the canceled. Take him down. Cancel Slaith. Hashtag cancel Slaith. Oh man. So we're rolling into just 10 minutes to the second hour here.
I'll be heading off pretty soon.
Yep. Then it's the AR, and it's the Slaith and AR show, and then I suppose if we have any random guests that we bring on, we get the benefit of getting to vetting them and seeing if we want to bring them on or not.
If you are watching this show, you can come in
Oh,
here
wait.
and talk to us right now.
There we go. There, that adds a lot of context, and I'm sure people will understand what Afterdark active means. Right. This probably means something to somebody somewhere. Oh man. So any other hot garbage before I don't know. I think we're almost out of we're out of bits.
We're starting to get out of hot garbage here, man.
We're out of bits. Is there any question? Any
RPGs?
or if we have any? If you know what? Here's one.
What was that, AR?
I got. Do we have any questions from the chat or any topics that the chat would want to be brought up and discussed? Right? Because let's get some interaction in here. Let's bring the audience in here, not literally though, because I'm gonna mute you. But let's bring them in. Let's bring them in here into the discussion as they get to kind of mold and help kind of guide the conversation to something if there's nothing going on. What are you doing?
Gonna ask.
What are you doing,
Fallout
Jack?
RPG.
Fallout RPG.
What am I doing, huh?
What was
I'm
that?
not
Was
doing anything.
It was like some kind of weird. Never mind. I don't know.
What?
It's like some kind of weird Cthulhu whispering going on or something.
I'm actually just like casting a like secret spell on Curry. He doesn't know about it.
Oh, I see. He's using the Brazilian voodoo.
Yeah.
He's got the spit, the bone, the wig, and the bra, and he's made the Curry voodoo doll.
Curry's gonna wake up and he's gonna find out that like his E key is broken. He can't type E anymore. It's gone forever.
It's been replaced with a different letter though. But what letter?
Yeah.
No, what's the
it's going to be-
least used letter? Least used letter.
The least used letter, X.
So it's another X button. Yeah.
Yeah.
I use E
He gets another
to
X button.
dispel Jackler's spell. Oh, he used.
Oh, well,
Damn. This is the problem with
I
playing
use-
against a blue deck.
Listen, man, I can use my T to steal your E.
Yeah, but he could just use another E. He's
This is a blue-white deck. Yeah.
he could just
Like,
use
I
another
know
E.
he's got more of them, but I can do the trick of the G to rewind time,
Yep.
and then take multiple of his E's, and
Yeah.
then theoretically I would have all the E's.
Okay.
That is, of course, if assuming that I don't have an S that I have planted in his deck, which would allow me to swap decks with him.
Yeah, but I don't know. He's using uppercase though. Like I don't like. You shouldn't try. He's got the uppercase. Don't try it.
Well, see, I have a number.
Okay.
In truth, numbers are stronger than letters.
I used G to rewind time so Jackler can't pull E's. He's got all the moves. He's using all the moves.
It's just two blue-white players versus each other.
Yeah, exactly. This
I
is,
have no idea what any of this means, by the way.
this is a game that has no rules, but I think it has a lot of winners. I think this is going pretty good
Yeah.
so far. All right. I'm gonna use the F7 key. I don't know what does that even do. F7. I didn't do anything. Okay, it failed. All right. But it was fun. I'm having a good time. I'm playing this game too. There we go. F7. So I don't know. I guess there's not a lot more garbage to really discuss. Jeez, we just have this fake letter card game going on. This Yu-Gi-Oh game. That's
The
it.
Fallout RPG.
The
How
Fallout.
about
Oh yeah, you were
There's a
you were
Fallout
just saying
RPG?
what
I didn't know about that.
the Fallout, like the what, like Fallout, like post-apocalyptic, or do you mean like the D&D one, like the tabletop
yeah,
one?
the D&D version of it. Yeah.
Do you and do you mean the actual Fallout one, or the one that was
Yes.
intended to be the Fallout one that lost the license and then became its own thing?
No, it's the Fallout one.
The
It's the
official
one
one.
that has
Yeah.
yeah, it's official.
Okay. What about it? I mean,
I have the RPG book.
you know what? Maybe I
Play
could
Is it
that.
any good?
like what if I put it up to like a community poll?
Yeah.
I mean like as much
Game
as
to play.
as much as it would probably be almost more enjoyable to pick one, but then again, and sometimes it's hard to pick one as a group. Everyone might want to do their own thing.
Yeah.
So sometimes if it's like the random wheel, I know how much you enjoyed the random wheel, Jackler, right?
Jesus Christ.
You know, if it was something like that, or if it was even a community poll where it was voted for sort of thing, but like what would not only would like if we're willing to play any of them, but we might have a favorite. Which one would most people want to watch, right? Or want to, tune in for? I could put it as like, which game would it be? And it would be like, and even it could just be like genre, like, or franchise, like a Warhammer 40K RPG, just D&D. What were the other ones again? Fallout, Star Trek, whatever. The list goes on of all these different things that it could be. Although the list goes on, but I'm pretty sure I can only have 4 or 5 different options in the poll. And what?
Now, see what we do. We get Slaith to play the Cyberpunk tabletop. Then he'll like it, because you see, Cyberpunk was originally a tabletop game. It was originally an RPG.
The irony would be it wouldn't be Cyberpunk. It would be that everyone would get me to play the Half-Life role-playing game, and then I'd be like, "Wow, this is much better than the video game." But that's the thing. The polls can be 5 options, but I'm pretty sure one of them has to be Slaith. Aren't you going to play Half-Life again? So really, there's only 4 options, right?
Mm.
Random wheel should also determine how long you play the thing you choose for 2. What?
Kill yourself.
Wait.
Is all I can say to that.
These views may not match up to the channel's views and are not
They
expressive
do. Oh, they do.
of Slate the Space Marine. They are not held liable to the Slaith brand and or me. And so I don't even know what that means. I used G to rewind time so Jackler didn't say that. Oh, he saved you. He saved you. Right? You were falling off that cliff.
What if I don't want to be saved? What if I'm not afraid? Huh?
Oh, he didn't just save you though, but he saved the stream. He saved the universe. The multiverse. Right? This is the Slaith multiverse, right? Right, what we got going on here?
Yeah, the Slaith expanded universe.
This is
which goes together with the Slaith animated universe as well.
Which it goes together with the Jackler one expanded universe with the Slaith virus.
With the Slaith virus, where everyone, like, you get bitten by Slaith and then you turn into a Slaith and then you have a conversation with someone and then you go like, wow, this thing is just like that, like this one game that I played once while I accidentally at my cousin's house in 1993. It's just like that.
Is that a video?
That? Yeah.
Wait, is that a video? Did you make that? Is that a thing?
But it's no.
No? Okay. I guess no. I was talking. I was. You should. Yeah. Like honestly, some of those ones are great. I like the one where it's like there's the tech support getting called, and then it's like I got a virus on my computer, and then it's like me. That one's good. And then there's the Slaith fixes the future, where I go and shoot myself.
The future. Yeah,
I shoot myself to get my dick sucked.
Ultimate Slaith kills Primus, or no, Primus Slaith kills Ultimate Slaith to get his dick sucked.
There was a couple others though, right? There was the Slaith show, or was it the Jackler show, or whatever it was called. The one where it was just
Yeah.
it was just like an old picture of me, and then you put it on that like app that makes it like 3D and sing or something. You know that wasn't that like the first one?
I think that might have been the first one. Yeah.
There was a few of them. Um, so like those are always great. I think I think that's one of the reasons why I always have your channel in the description for the Afterdark. So it's there, so people can go and check the shit out.
I mean, yeah, I guess I am here.
I mean, why not? Like, let's grow the company. Let's Slaith Corp, yeah, right. It's essentially just the Ghost Corp logo, but it's all like spray painted black, and it says Slaith Corp.
It's written in like Comic Sans.
It's got that like stippling effect, so it looks like it's like inked like a comic book.
Yeah.
So yeah, Slaith Corp. All right, so we're rolled on to the second hour. So Cinderella's got to go to bed. It sounds like.
Oh yeah, Cinderella's gotta lay down, watch like some YouTube of something. I don't fucking know.
It's
then go to bed.
bedtime. All right, well, have a good bedtime there, Jackler.
Oh, thanks, guys.
You have a good
Hope
night.
you feel better.
Just give him
Yeah,
a
I
little
hope so,
pat
too.
on the head. Oh, there you go. Oh, little Jackler. There you go.
Just trips over, falls down. He's in like the Family Guy death pose.
Pretty well. Might as well be.
All right, I'll see you guys.
Have a good night.
Cheers.
See you.
So you want to put it up to a vote for?
Well, I'm saying that might be a good idea because, one, if let's say there was a selection of multiple options, right, that we're all interested in playing, right? No one's going to groan and moan about any of them. That they're all going, yeah, these all sound good. But it's hard to really pick one because either really, it's probably going to be one person's going to have a good time, and at best, other people are going to have that mild mid time. And somebody's going to go, I really wish we were playing this other one. With that. And if as long as it's a spread that everyone goes, yeah, these all sound great, and no one picks one, right? So it's not like, even if it was a vote, maybe the random wheel might even be better. Just make all the options equally weighted. So that way there's no like pressure of the choices. But then again, that might not necessarily appeal to everybody that might want to check that out. And I've never tried out doing an RPG rolling game. I've never tried playing super extremely slow not Dungeons and Dragons, because that's what the game is. I've never tried playing super extremely slow Diablo in a live stream. You know what I mean? Like if you hear what I'm saying? Because what is D&D ultimately? Super extremely slow Diablo with also a little bit of Nancy Drew mystery adventure in it. Stop me when I'm wrong, right? And then this isn't meant to be said in like a negative light towards D&D. I'm just because it's clearly got its strengths and in its own sense, but it very much is just turn-based Diablo or turn-based Morrowind.
Yeah, more turn-based Morrowind.
Right? And so which almost makes it kind of like Fallout, the old Fallout games.
Yeah.
In that sense. Where, if you're not in combat where there needs to be certain rules set in place, you're kind of free to roam and kind of do whatever you want. That's kind of D&D. Without, with some restrictions to it, like if, movement time and all that, just to kind of maybe keep track of time of day and not make it so you're like teleporting across like a big, city or something like that to get from shop to shop or something like that. But then when it gets to combat, suddenly everything is in VATS mode. Turn to turn to turn to turn to turn. Everything is just constant VATS. But D&D, right? And I just don't know how that would translate very well into this. That's pretty unexplored territory. I've never done that on the channel. So I don't know how I would do, how people watching it would do, you know. Let's see, like who do we have in the chat right now? Is it just Curry? It says it's saying 2 people right now. So is it Curry, or who do we have in the chat right now? What do the 2 people in the chat think? One of them's you, isn't it, AR?
I don't think so. Not tonight.
Not tonight. Where's the other guy? Oh, Jackler had to go. Jackler's only able to really show up for the first couple hours of After Dark. Then he has to go. Cinderella has to leave the ball after that. And it's just because of the time that After Dark is. If After Dark was a little bit earlier, which then kind of makes it like just maybe kind of before dark, but also equally after dark, the show. Yeah. So it's just the timing. It's just the, you know, time zones, the world, time zones. The other guy watching, the other guy watching the stream. I don't know where the other guy is. But so I think Curry's kind of supporting it, saying like the Warhammer RPGs. That's what that sounds like.
Or he likes their Warhammer RPG idea.
That's what it seems like to me. Or, you know, but like, you know, it's, oh, we got Tony here. You know, it's hard to really, you know, speak for the larger. And even when I do those polls, maybe like the response rate to them is, I'm gonna say, at like a good average, at a good average best, is around maybe 7 responses. At like a maybe like a record, it's maybe like 15 responses. But then on like an average low might be 3 to 4 responses to those polls. So like they might be almost inconclusive in a sense, or like have like tying results or something like that, you know. And then where are we then? We flip a coin, we roll a d20.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's something that could come on to possibly in the future. At the moment, I'm kind of tentative as to include it, but I'm not excluding it. Again, I'm not putting it off the table. There could be, you know, Saturday D&D night with Slaith, right? You know what I mean? Who knows? Sky's the limits. Why not? Like you said, Warhammer. This channel's never been exclusively Warhammer. Even back when the channel was called Arrowhertz, it was never exclusively Warhammer.
Yeah.
It always had like a little. I think like technically the very first 2 videos on this channel were lightsabers. Right? Remember lightsaber videos on YouTube? So, you know, that period of time. Yeah, so
Reason why I brought it up is because you call people battle brothers and stuff like that. Oh, brother Marines.
that's right, Brother Marines.
start.
That is how it goes. Brother Marines, sandbags, assorted titles, mighty pirates, people who watch the streams on their television screens or on their smartphones or tablets, various monitors, projectors, or gelatinous films that are able to capture the images of this stream. Today, tonight, this is, right now, the day that it is. Brother Marines. Yeah. What about it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You already have the voices. You know.
Oh, I'm supposed to do
Jack would
voices?
make you- Yeah, we can all do voices.
Oh, great.
I get to bring out Cobra Commander.
Totally, dude. As long as I'm gonna be able to be like Michelangelo.
Or maybe if I could like include a little bit of Donatello, that would be pretty sweet, don't you think?
Yes, my sons. if we could have all of the turtles as part of this RPG, then it would reach ninja masterhood.
Wow.
Right? You know, it needs to get to that point where all of a sudden, you know, we like out of nowhere, like a blast happens in the RPG, and then it's like, ah, yes, I, the prince of all Saiyan warriors, have returned to Dungeons and Dragons. That's what I was always best at, especially when I was on the home planet with Nappa. He would always let me win, because I was always the best at everything I do. Yeah, that's what I do. As the prince of all Dungeons and Dragons players, I, Prince Vegeta, right? Like, why not,
My
right?
God.
Why not? You know, like this whole thing, of course it could go that way, sure.
I'm gonna be the dungeon master, and I'm gonna say that all the Marines are armed with Volkite weapons.
They're all Malice followers of the Bloodhounds chapter. They're specifically the ones that are all deeply entrenched in following the space soap opera of like Arrow and Leonidas and Slaith, even though that wouldn't make any sense, but they all have like a diary that they write down.
They all dual wield Volkite pistols.
They have Volkite swords and Volkite shoes, Volkite skateboards.
Mm-hmm.
They have a Volkite baseball cap, which on it has a V for Volkite, and the brim shoots Volkite out of it.
It's a digi weapon.
It's a...
Digi weapon.
Yeah. You know, it's just funny because you know how that could almost take on a whole different meaning and like an inside joke. It's...
Mm-hmm.
Ow! Okay. Oh, that's a long story, but I think we'll avoid that one. I think that's a bullet that will. I'm just going to. I'm gonna like Neo deflect it myself. That's one we're just gonna save everybody from. Right? Because that's a whole story and a half, don't you think? And I mean, like, it really wouldn't even be fair for it to just be you and I if we were to talk about that. We would almost need to bring on like a whole fucking list of witnesses for this nearly like legal trial. Like, you know, this like whole character assessment in like the court of Slaith. The people are real. The stories are real. This is Judge Slaith. So like
And internet drama.
yeah. Wow. So, yeah, that's one I think will just for like just to for the what is it? You know, you gotta be internet space dad. So you gotta be like, no, I need to like, you know, put as little harm mentally onto the people to not even go over the story.
I hope he got a good whistle so that he can protect himself.
Yeah. Pretty well. Oh man. But like, I don't know. At one point, like, just to kind of like do some pitches, right? How about this is pitch hour, right? We're doing D&D pitch baseball here of some ideas, right? Now, I'm just gonna go over the things we talked about over like the last year, maybe, or a bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there could be, and I'll start with some of the more fun ones than some of the more generic ones. There could be a Star Trek RPG with a variety of different characters, some of them more stern and serious and a little bit more generic action Jackson sort of characters, and other ones that may tend to lean towards more of the comical, farcical, or comedic level. So some of the more ones that are a little bit more silly fun that could be a whole different range of stories and adventures, and ones that are probably a little bit geared more to the pew pew laser blast, punch you in the face, you know, do the science story, right? A little bit of the dry action and a little bit of the rompy fun in Star Trek. in the Star Trek universe, with a variety of different characters of the different known Star Trek sort of peoples and places and things, and exploring new worlds and new civilizations on a currently unnamed Starfleet vessel, which may or may not fruition in the future. So there we go. There's the Star Trek RPG pitch. And there was only like a couple different RPGs, wasn't there, that we really kind of discussed? I think that was one of them. I don't think we'd ever really discussed a specific any sort of Warhammer thing. There could be any sort of Warhammer thing. There's your pitch. And then I think that at one point you and I were talking about like a D&D campaign that continued using the characters from the little mini campaign that we started that kind of died. As if it was like, well, that died, but
the bad guys. Yeah.
These characters continued on. It's unknown. It's unknown what happened to everybody else, but these two characters split off by themselves as if there was like a Jesse James and Meowth show. And so it would be a D&D adventure with monster characters. Right? It would be a monster character RPG, which would with almost Addams Family level sort of macabre sort of. Do I even say that right? How do you say that word? Is it macabre?
Mm-hmm.
It's got an R though, right? It's not macabre. Is it macabre?
Could be.
Or whatever. And it's. I hate that word just because I don't know how to pronounce it. It's like, what? Jeez, he doesn't even know how to pronounce the fucking macabre. What a noob. So
it's the macabre.
We got these two characters that are kind of comedic, grim monster characters that could probably end up in a lot of different hijinks and trouble or adventure. Because they're also both characters that could default to generic adventure characters, right? Where you have the leapy roguey fighter guy, and you have the Healy monkey sort of wizard guy. Healy magic guy. And Dancy fighter guy, right? So you have it beats those drums. I don't think there was many other RPGs that we ever really discussed. I think that would be at the moment anything that would be currently presentable or pitchable, as far as I would recall from what we had talked about before. I think that would be it at the moment. Do you have any ideas of any pitches for possible RPGs? Well, I would love to hear them. I think maybe Curry would love to hear them. Whoever's in the chat would love to hear what possible RPG pitches there could be for like a D20 system, I'm guessing RPG.
Well, some of those are D100s. And what do you call it? The Star Trek one is a D6 system.
Well, Mr. Technical, get to the bastard. It's making me look foolish. Well, I guess it shows how I guess I'm a noob here. All right, so what do we got? What do we got? Is there a battle? We got a BattleTech one.
Yeah, there's like two of them. I almost got you to choke right there. The coffee.
How dare you refuse my bachal?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's actually something that can happen. Yeah, you're supposed to get angry if they deny you combat.
Can you have cockpit Mortal Kombat?
Yeah.
And there's your pitch. No, okay. That sounds awesome. Stepdaddy Steiner, I'm stuck.
What are you doing to my battle mech? Get out of here, lady.
Man, that cartoon was fucking that cartoon alone has just so many moments. Like where there's the guy that like drugs the two women, and he's like, "That's just enough," and it's like, are you like a regular at this? You're often drugging women, like.
She'll be okay, believe it or not.
And weren't all the elemental women all like the dummy mommy double thick, sort of, right? That show. Malthus! Oh my god, that show was amazingly. It was like cringe and amazing at the same time. You know what I mean? In like all the best ways. It was great. It was great. I look back on it in fond thoughts. Do I want to watch it again? No, but kinda. You know what I mean? It's one of those, like, kinda, but not right now. Maybe in a few years. When I've forgotten everything. And then it's like, hey, let's watch that Battletech show. Alright, so Battletech. What else do we got? What other things we got there? Jumanji?
I do have all the Cyberpunk books.
Now, I didn't
And
really
Jack Blair
enjoy...
had mentioned that.
Yeah, I didn't really enjoy Cyberpunk. Something about the world just itself. And maybe it was just I don't even know. Maybe it was just the way that it looked in that video game. But do you think I would get a different experience from the tabletop?
The tabletop?
You know what I mean? Do you think?
Yeah.
We'll see. So Cyberpunk. Slaith plays Cyberpunk.
Okay, so hear me out, right?
Yeah.
Heavy
Yeah.
Metal,
Yeah.
the movie, first
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
really good, right?
Yeah.
What happens with the second one?
Yeah, and Cyberpunk was like an RPG first, but then it was the.
Yeah.
Is that I get what you're saying? I get what you're saying. At like, I mean, you're
And
using
it-
you're
like
using
the
my own
actual
logic
book-
against me.
Yeah, and the actual book itself
Mm-hmm.
has like the artwork from
Okay.
like the heavy metal era. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
So
I get
it
it.
has that feeling to it has more of that feeling to like the actual game of it and stuff.
Yeah, so
not
it's a different world
modern.
it's a different world
Yes.
than like the neon pink and like turquoise world and
Yeah.
yeah. All right, so Cyberpunk. That's on the table. Cyberpunk. What else is there? Is there anything else that would be good and
I know
interesting and fun?
that's a hard sell for you. I know.
I'll have to rifle through it before I give that one a green light. But I'm not gonna. If you're saying that they ruined it and it was better before, and then you need to see it
Well, it's
before
way
because it
better
appeals to more things that you would actually like than the one that they do now, because this is the modern Cyberpunk, then I'll give it the benefit. I just need to look at it. It's kind of like, how about this? Compare Fallout 3 to Fallout.
Mm-hmm.
And some people would say Fallout 3 ruined Fallout because of a lot of just little details that were almost like little fun gags, even just caps themselves. And like, are their arguments valid to a degree? I would say yeah. Like they make good points that Bethesda kind of changed the DNA a little bit by digging into the past a little bit, because Fallout 3 almost works more like almost a remake of Fallout 1, like a soft reboot. There's even a whole water situation and everything. Like, fuck. So,
Yeah.
So if it's different with the RPG or whatever, then I mean, like, I'm open to give it a shot. But like, what other flavors do we have at D&D Baskin Robbins here?
There is actually the Fallout RPG.
Fallout RPG, okay. A Fallout RPG.
Yep.
I'm not sure how I'm going to put this many options in a post or whatever, but like I could put it into a wheel maybe. Could you imagine if it was a different game every weekend?
That'd be horrific.
So we won't do that. Okay. There's probably people in the chat like, yeah, you should fucking do that. Yeah. Oh man, these people suffer. Right. Suffer
if you
posting.
wanted if you wanted something that's more like, I guess, like arcadey gamey, right, and silly wacky, it's called Paranoia.
Is that what we want though? Because like it's not just what I want; it would be what everybody would want.
Well, I mean, it would be for what it'd be entertaining for the chat because
Could be.
all the players get a certain amount of clones,
Oh yeah.
and it's kind of like it's a survival game where you're on the same team, but you're also out against each other, and you all have like your own little secret backstories per character.
That could be one. When
I
are
don't know. It depends kind of how people want to play.
when are we gonna get something just simple where it's just like After Dark plays Monopoly?
After Dark plays live.
You know what I mean? Life or what's that game with like the 8-bit dungeon? And you have to make the dungeon to stop the adventurers to get through? Or something like that, you know what I mean? Some game some group game. That could be a thing. You know, one that like it ends when the session ends. And it could be a thing. That could be a thing. Just putting more tabletop board games on the options if they're available. Tabletop simulator.
Oh god, I have that.
Oh yeah, I don't. You know, that could be a thing. Oh, you know what? If I had tabletop simulator, wouldn't that open up virtual Warhammer tabletop games to possible streams? Wow. I could do that, and then I could get like a picture, or I could like scan or do something and I could put like my chapter into the game. I could do it. I could figure it out. It's a simple equation. It's just some simple math. Oh wow. All right, so different RPGs, I suppose. There's so many games that are going on the. I don't think I've ever been juggling so many games on the channel at one time. You know, I don't think I've had access to so many games at one time, like, because I've just been getting games on like sale and like getting Steam keys and shit for cheap.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy having like, I guess now I have this new computer, so I now have the access to playing all different sort of things if I want. But I still sort of try to stick to that rule where it's like I'm not going to pay too much for a game, you know, like because it's just sometimes it's just not worth it spending like $80 on a game. It's like, man, I could probably be playing a game for just as long, bought like some $10, $5 game even, be playing it just as much. And then I also get to order a couple pizzas or something. You know,
Yeah.
You know, sometimes
I get to have something nice.
Something nice and maybe something a little bit fleeting. You know,
Warm.
something warm, something juicy. It's got that cheese.
As I eat pizza
Yeah.
like 2 to 3 times a week.
Wow, that's quite the number.
I
2 to
probably
3.
shouldn't.
Well, there's nothing wrong with it, I suppose. You know, you're a growing boy.
Wow.
You need all the extra energy to keep up your physique. Your bulk. It's bulking season. Bulk and skull. Oh, you know what? Bulk and skull. There we go. There we go. I was waiting for like something to come up as like a topic. So what was it? Netflix bought Hasbro or something, or Power Rangers is getting canceled.
Yep.
So there's not going to be any more Power Rangers. Is that what that means?
No more. Hasbro is having to look for someone to carry Power Rangers.
And is anybody going to take that IP? I mean, like, it seems like a no-brainer. Like, it's Power Rangers. It's been around for forever. It should get, you know, people. There's probably going to be an audience for it, whether it's like the older audiences that just kind of watch this stuff, or it's the younger audiences that want, you know, it's like what 8 to 10-year-old boys that want to watch like fighting on TV. Am I wrong? Am I wrong on that one? So I don't know. Power Rangers getting canceled. That sounds like a big hit. I wonder if they're canceling. Was there ever an American Power Rangers of that one with like the gorilla and the peacock and like they're all like deformed rangers sort of thing? Was that ever one in America where they're all like these CG monstrosities? I remember you showed me. So I wonder if they're
Avatar of the Dawn Brothers one.
I don't remember what
where
it
they
was.
like do like the singing parade shit.
I think I blacked out the names of it because it was so bad. Where they were these horrible CG monstrosity people. One of them was like a gorilla. One of them had super long legs, like he was like an ostrich, like straight out of fucking Donkey Kong.
The pink flamingo guy.
Pink flamingo. Yeah, exactly. No, that one.
And then there was the black cat.
Yeah, was that ever a Power Rangers?
Yeah.
It was.
No, not. I don't know if it turned into a Power Ranger.
That's what I'm saying. If it was if this cancellation of Power Rangers somehow lines up with also, oh, here we go. Oh, here we whoa, oh, we got finally showing up to the show here. Oh, in Bloodhound's colors. Was that orange?
Yeah, it's orange.
It's more orange. Well, close enough. Close enough. We'll just call it. We'll call it. It's Blood Angel Bloodhound colors. Right? Exorcist?
Yeah, they're orange black.
Sure. We'll just go with it. So either way, geez, fuck, what was it? What was I just talking about? What was it? It was just a point. It was just going on it. Wow, brain fart.
It happened to me too.
It just totally brain fart. Oh, we just got fucking like wiped out by fucking Harp or something. It's the brain rot.
That was.
What was that? Did like the Men in Black show up and flashy thingy us? Like what just happened? We were just talking about it. I can't. What is it? What just happened? You know, this is that point right here where I should get that, like... I should get, like, an MP3 for that part from Half Baked, where it's got Scarface, and he's like, what? And then, it goes like, boo-doo-dee, marijuana affects the memory. That'd be great for right there. That'd be... I need a few of those, don't you think? I need a few of those things. Like, what do I even... You know, what do I even have? Let's see. I probably have all sorts of things. What's this? What is this? An image. Screen capture. No, I don't even know what that is. I don't know. It's looking shady. What is it? What could it possibly be? Oh, it's the rainbow thing. Well, fuck that. No one wants...
Oh, we were talking about Sentai. The Dawn Brothers, if that got turned into an actual Power Rangers thing, because that would be why that Hasbro isn't able to get continued on.
Yeah, there we go. Awesome. We did it. Thank you. I fucking completely fell off that ship. So yeah, like if they weren't doing more Power Rangers because the current Power Rangers or whatever it was, you know, like whatever they have available to them isn't quite fitting that standard that would appeal to an American audience. I think you showed me something and it looked like they had like fucking rims on tires for faces, and it was like, no, I'm out.
And that's the new Power Rangers.
That's the new Power Rangers. Yeah. And honestly, if I saw that, I wouldn't want to make that show. I wouldn't want to do it. That's terrible.
They have tire helmets.
No, it's terrible. I wouldn't touch that. I wouldn't touch that. That's terrible. So I could see that being possibly tied in. Like how about this? There were certain Ranger teams that I think got skipped in the Sentai.
100%. 100% there are ones.
And then there are ones that got done dirty. Like, you know what's I think was the one that got done the worst in the, like the absolute worst in the American one?
Tractor?
No. Da-na-na-na, da-na-na, da-na-na-na, the Ninjas one. What was the one? I was really into it, and I really wanted to watch it. And it had the ninjas, and then at the end, it had all the dancing things at the very end. Which one was that?
I'm trying to remember because it's Kaku Ranger.
Kaku Ranger, ninja, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I wanted to watch Kaku Ranger because do you know what we got in the Americas for Kaku Ranger?
Ninja Force.
Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers. Alien Rangers. It was a short little part of the series where the main characters, the Power Rangers, got turned into kids. So these aliens from Aquatar, which were these ridiculous... Okay, imagine it was like shower cap aliens. You know, like something out of like a weird B movie where it's like, I'm an alien, and they're wearing this like latex shower cap thing that makes them look like they're from some water world or something like that. You can probably just imagine it, right? They looked ridiculous. And they took over for like a week. And they were the Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers. And they redid the song and everything. They even changed it. It didn't say Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It was like Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers. It was like, what the fuck is going on here? What the hell is this? And then they took over. And then, I don't know, Billy turned into an old man or whatever. So they had to bring him away and he never came back. But then until he did for that movie, right? Where it was like, you know what? It's been like 30 years. Maybe we should make something about that Trini character dying. Maybe we should finally address that.
The movie wasn't actually that bad.
No, but why? Like, they went to this whole point of making this heartfelt story about the death of the Yellow Ranger, and it's clearly about the death of the actress of the Yellow Ranger at the time who died in the car accident. But what was it? Was it before or after Jason David Frank?
Flush the toilet?
No, but didn't it say, like, in dedication to, like, it said to her, to both of them?
Yeah, at the very end, because I think it happened, like, they were already in production of the movie when he did it.
So they couldn't have done something? I mean, like, you've never heard of a post-production change? Or they go, oh shit, we should probably really fucking change course on this one and add something?
It's Hasbro.
You know what I mean? Or, like, do you think that they're just so terrified of what it would mean if they actually killed Tommy Oliver?
Yeah.
They're absolutely terrified of it. Like, and you know what? You know what's almost the worst thing about the whole Tommy Oliver thing as well on that one? There's fucking like 3 of him. There's like 3 different Tommy. There's Tommy. There's evil Tommy that was sent back into the past. And then there's the White Stranger. Right? There's 3 different Tommies. And you know what I mean? You know, and you know how like they, you know, like they fucked it. Well, I mean, well, maybe not. Maybe it's not entirely all on them. Sorry if that's a little bit insensitive, but you know, like we have to give a little bit of equal blame to where it may be deserved. You know, unfortunately. So, you know, Power Rangers. Well, you know, here's to the power. Long live the power. Here's to Akarinja. And here's to fuck, I don't know. Who else? Zordon. Here's to Zordon and Alpha 5. Here's to the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for saving us from the evil of Rita McNeil or whatever. And
Black Condor for being the best Power Rangers character, sentai
Black
character.
Black Condor for being a chain smoking, gambling, womanizing Black Ranger who got killed by being shot to death. You know, here's two. Here is two.
Gets resurrected. God
The
brings him back.
Super Sentai. What is it now? Is it almost 60th anniversary now?
Yes.
Do you know what it is right now? 55 was that only like last year or a couple of years ago?
Yeah, it was a couple years ago.
Oh, so 57?
Yeah.
Here's to Super Sentai 57. 57 years. Jeez. It's a long time.
Oh, geez, we're gonna be at 60 for Common Rider soon, though.
Well, I'm not giving a salute to that, but I definitely need a shot for that. All right.
Well, hopefully it skeets.
I'm definitely not the Common Rider. You know, I'm not on that ride. I can't do it. I can't do it. They have robot monster suits with pompadours. I can't do it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
They're cool.
I'm not doing it. Like, did I ever show you that character in Chrono Trigger that's essentially like a Kamen Rider character? Johnny the Man. He's like a mutant motorcycle man. He's like half man, half motorcycle, and he's got like a black greasy pompadour. Tell me if that's not Kamen Rider. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
No, I'm following.
he's like one of the Kangs, you know? Not Kangs, the Kangs. This is Kang territory. You know what I'm saying there, Sugar Love? Like the fucking, I don't know what the fucking Elvis talk that they do, right? You know, the way that they would say like shit like
Hey
that.
there, sweet mama.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, you got it. I'm not entirely on the ball with the whole Elvis, so I probably don't have all that down. I need to get
Step
I need
down
to
now, back, and don't step on my shoes here now, sir, sweet thing.
need to get a little bit more of that inflection. Maybe get a little bit more into it. Although maybe I'll be getting a little bit more into the ghoul. Maybe that's where that would be
You're
turning.
definitely getting into the ghoul.
But if you thought that I was going to be turning into Elvis, I was snot. I was snot. I swear he says fucking snot at that point where he's like, I guess snot. It's like, fucking, why did you turn it into I guess snot? What?
He has no nose.
Oh, wow. That's very insensitive towards towards ghouls. He's self-depreciating. We shouldn't.
Yeah, he's an actor. He's a natural comedian.
I was showing that show to my brother the other day. I was like, hey, this show, like the TV show of that kind of post-apocalyptic America game that you see me play a few times, and he was like, okay. And I throw on like the first 4 episodes because we were like sitting there having like a pizza night sort of thing. We're watching Fallout, and what was it? There was something. Fuck. This is turning into just the night of the brain farts. Brain fart invasion. It's what is it? Fed space. It is the Le Fédéral Space Laser. It is the mind control beam device. I don't know, was that French or Italian? What the fuck was that even meant to be? But I was showing him the Fallout show, and we got up to the 4th episode where it got to like the president, I think. I think it gets up to that, right? Or no,
Yeah.
I think that's the 5th episode actually. We got up to the part where he sells Lucy to Beavis and Butthead.
Oh, the dude's on the couch,
Yeah,
the Megalomart or whatever.
at the Super Duper Mart.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was explaining to him just kind of like, so this is a theory that I have, just based off what we see on screen in this episode and maybe the episode prior to that. All right. And if it turns out to be wrong, it turns out to be wrong. But this is just a theory that I have. I have a bit of a concern for the ghoul that his character is going to be one of those ones that dies a hero and doesn't get allowed to turn into shit. Which sounds like a bad thing the way I phrase it, but it also sounds like a good thing, right? Now, what happens to the ghoul in the first few episodes? He meets a ghoul that stopped getting his doses or whatever, right?
Yeah.
He
You're afraid of
himself
that?
he himself also runs out of his doses. And immediately you can see the rage. It's not just like drug addict rage. It's you can see that he's getting, and then immediately after that we see the effects of it on him, where he starts coughing and passing out, and he's like weak and listless. He's not able to move. He's lethargic. He, like, is he turning? People even, like, there was even what the specific phrasing of what was said in that conversation with the other ghoul was that one ghoul said, "I only started showing so long ago," or whatever. But how long has it been for you? You've outlasted us all. So that phrasing, if you take it on its face value, I think that means that the ghoul, Cooper, may have showed signs of turning feral a long time ago.
Yeah.
Right? You get it? Where he says, like, I only started showing this long ago, but you've outlasted us all. And like, when did you start? Or whatever he said, like what about you? Or it was something about that. So he implies something that, like, maybe, like, that it's possible he might have shown. And then also, it's the irony of it when he goes into the Super Duper Mart and he finds all the drugs and he sees it all there and he completely binges out on everything. On everything he can find. He takes a bunch of the drug, he drinks some whiskey. He's taking everything. If there was like a pile of coke there, he would have stuck his face in it. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the way that scene gonna plays out. But the most important part about it is, did you ever see the streams of tears going down his face?
Yeah, once he gets to it.
When
yeah,
he gets
crying.
right, he's crying, and it's making me think that he's crying because he's like, here it is. Here's the oasis. I'm already a dead man, but here it is, the thing that I needed right here. It could be totally wrong, because there's the opposite side of, like, the joy of, oh my god, the thing that's going to save my life. I'm in tears because I'm saved side of it. It's totally that. But I just have this gut feeling it's possible, like, he missed his dosage and the ghoul could all of a sudden turn into, like, a feral person that Lucy has to fight at one point. And then that's the end of the ghoul storyline.
I could see your fear.
You can see, and it does that even sound like a valid story arc? It sounds like the character would be cut short, but it also sounds like that's the risk that might be the risk that the character takes. It's part of the game, part of being a ghoul, part of living on the wasteland. One of those golden rules: you don't get your dose, you turn into one of those. So, like, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking that could be the case with old Coop here. We might be seeing him. We might be saying, you might have to say good, a preemptive goodbye to him. He might not even find her, who apparently when he was talking to the government, when he was talking to the president, right? The president even says, he's referring to, are you still looking for her? But that's also, I think, before he sees the picture of Moldaver on the wall and then goes, she looks different than I remember, because he remembers her from pre-war. right? Is kind of is how it's kind of shown or presents itself. And then, so people apparently know that he's looking for his wife. You know, that whole revelation at the end where he's like, "Where's my family? Where's my fucking family?" Right? And he's got the gun to fucking Hank.
Yeah.
And you got to say, like, you know, like with that gun, the ghoul's pretty surgical with that thing, because he's got to have intentionally only grazed and wounded Hank there, don't you think? He didn't try to kill him.
Yeah.
Because if he killed him, where would his wife be?
You want because he wanted to ask that question.
That's right. That's why he didn't shoot him didn't shoot him in the brain. So, like, I'm wondering if we're gonna get to see that. Is she gonna be like Mr. Freeze's wife, like in a freezer or something? Right? Like, is she gonna be, or is she gonna be in Vault 31? Also,
Is he gonna be in a what do you call those? One of those brain jars?
I'm also thinking Moldaver. Did she sneak into Vault 31?
Well, isn't the one brain Bud?
Yeah.
Yeah, that she could be in one of those brain jars.
In one of the brain jar. No, but Moldaver was the NCR woman.
Yeah. Not Moldaver.
Yeah, oh no, I know, but Moldaver, she's from pre-war. And and she's clearly not that much older. So she must have had the same sort of Fallout 4 cryogenic treatment, unless they're introducing time travel into this. Right? Like, I mean, you know what? I wouldn't put it past Moldaver, the woman that apparently invented cold fusion. How about that?
Yeah.
If she's the woman that invented cold fusion, sure, she invented time travel too. Cause you know what? Not even Doc fucking Brown invented fucking cold fusion. No, but he bought it in the future. Right? He went to the future and he bought a Mr. Cold Fusion for the fucking DeLorean. You know what I mean? So like if he can do that, Moldaver could, sure, she could figure out fucking time travel and get to the fucking future. So, you know, I don't know. So there's that one. There's also how many pods were unfrozen, right? And that blonde the blonde chick that's pregnant, she was from Vault 31. So that means she's pre-war and was frozen. So that's at least 4. No, 3. Hank, blonde chick, and what's her name? Martha? Margaret?
Martha.
Mildred? Like not the guy's wife, but like her assistant?
Oh
right?
yeah.
Right? So
Mm-hmm.
how many pods were opened up and unthawed? If there's 3 of them, that's 3 that are accounted for, right?
There's like, I think like 12 in total.
That were opened and like...
Yeah. And then there's like a couple hundred going back.
And that may account for generations of different overseers over the years. But it's... What are the chances that Moldaver was in one of those pods and then escaped from Vault 31? Right? Like, I'm trying to come up with, how did Moldaver get into the future, sort of thing, from pre-war or post? You know what I mean? Like, how did she get into the Fallout time era? Yeah, how did she get there?
Yeah.
Maybe there was another vault that had cryogenics. Maybe she invented cryogenics. Fuck's sake, she invented cold fusion. You know, like, who knows? But she got and ended up getting there.
Maybe she escaped from the other one.
The other one.
The science one.
Science one.
where they were testing on all the people and they had like the trap set up to lure people down into it.
Oh, but
The
that
hospital.
wasn't that vault. But
Later, it got captured by the people that were being tested on. And then they
I mean, she
started
was a
worshiping her.
scientist. She was a scientist, right? So
And they were worshiping her.
yeah,
Remember? Like they had like
no,
that
but
whole
th-
cult
but they
woman inside that vault.
that's true. That's true. That's true. The Fire Mother or whatever, right? So it's very
See?
possible, yeah.
See?
That's very, very possible. There's a
And
lot
if
of.
Voltec didn't like her, right?
Hmm.
And they knew that she was spying on them, they could have caught her and put her down in there to be a test subject, and then she escaped.
Well,
from
I
that
don't
thing.
think that the place was meant to be with test subjects necessarily.
Yes,
But
it
then
was.
again, oh no, I guess it was because they were like experimenting on people. But I don't think that she
They
would have
put
been one of
people
them.
down there early
Yeah,
before.
to test but to test out the living environments, not to test out human experiments with like frog
it
babies.
It was.
No, but they showed the video with that, but I think that was already into the vault life. That was already into the thing. But like it was part, like I don't know, either way. Like I mean, like that was part of when the doors closed, rather than like when Coop went in for that interview with the scientist family. Right? I don't think they had people being frog breeders in, or no, like what is it, like like carnivorous frog breeders during the fucking that time, or maybe they did. Who knows? They're fucking crazy, but like I don't know. There's a lot going on there. There's a lot of questions. I'm still kind of wondering because like there's that line at the end, which I mean it leaves it open ended, right? Where Coop is like, there's always someone behind the wheel, and that's who I want to talk to, right? And then the direction of the show at that point then points towards New Vegas, and specifically the Strip. And when you think of the Strip and the person who is in control, you immediately your mind would probably go to House. And they went out of their way to show House in the show. Then again, they also say there's someone behind the wheel, and the wheel could be referring to the wheel of the Securitrons that they ride on. But then even then, behind the wheel of that would once again be House.
There's also the people that are watching the meeting from up above.
That's true, and those shadowy figures that we never get to see. You know how House cements in most of Vault 21?
Huh.
What if there was someone in there that we didn't get to see? Vault Tech executives in Vault 21 that were meant to be the winners of the Vault Tech thing because there were 21, right?
Yeah.
And then House, with a little backup plan, like buys it from the fools that were running it, or wins it in a poker match, and then cements it up so that way that those Vault Tech executives can never get out. But then we run into them in Fallout Season 2.
Now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only vault. I think that's one of the only vaults we don't really get to know much about, other than that they did poker games to do things politically. Right? That's the one where they settled all their disputes with poker games. Like that almost sounds like the world of, in this world no one has fistfights or no one gets robbed with like a knife. Instead, everyone pulls out their battle discs and plays Yu-Gi-Oh. Like you know what I mean? Like that's how disputes are resolved. Like so out of their way. Vault 21. That's there. So, and what's really to stop somebody from like excavating into that and finding out what's on the other side of Vault 21?
Yeah. Well, but he's also like he has like innate knowledge of like all the other vaults and stuff like that. So, like,
What was
if there's like a hidden meaning inside of 21, then
Mhm.
he would know.
He would know. And I mean, like, didn't he have aspirations of like space travel and colonization of other worlds to get off of Earth, which is fucked? So like, he's probably got one of the goals that would be beneficial or whatever, right? Like, where would you go though? It's not like there's not radiation on Mars. You're gonna go to Jupiter's moons. Good luck with that one, buddy.
Maybe he knows where there's like bombs that haven't blown up yet.
It's possible. It's possible.
Or he might be going there because of the betrayal of House, because the bombs were supposed to fall and blow everything up, but they didn't hit Vegas.
What if it turns out that Shady Sands in the show was also the pit? Or no, not the pit. The divide. So really, and then Elijah was wrong, and it wasn't the courier that bombed the divide / Shady Sands. It was Hank. There you go. Just retcon everything from the ruin. It's like, destroy it all. You know what they need to do? They need to have Elijah show up. They need to, or like a Sierra Madre reference in the background. A jar of red mist. What about that?
Yeah.
Something. Some kind of Sierra Madre reference. Chips or something.
Souvenir bag of gold.
Have someone walking around in the background with Benny's jacket on.
Well, yeah.
Right? Like it's been passed down for like the last 15 years.
Oh, dog meat gets a girlfriend.
Dog meat gets a girlfriend?
Yeah, a cyber dog.
What else
The
could there be?
hand-me-down from Rex.
Super mutants.
Oh, Nightkin.
A death claw.
A Nightkin.
A nightkin. Oh, wait, like specifically, and like would you introduce super mutants through a nightkin?
The gardener. The
Specifically
schizophrenic gardener. The gardener one.
Named
the one.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, like Molly or
Tabitha
something.
or whatever.
Tabitha.
Yeah.
Well, there's the one. There's the one in. That's the one in. Or is like Tabopolis or something, or is it? Or just,
whatever. No, it's the gardener one. The one that's not.
Oh, Tabitha's the gardener one. Okay.
Or,
Sure. No. Okay. Either way. No, I
Whichever
get
one
you.
you
Yeah. No, I get you. Sure. With that one, you would want a named character to show up in the show.
Not potentially.
I mean, like, I guess.
I mean, that's like a side name. That's not really you know what I'm saying? Just
Yeah.
because that's like a.
I mean, I guess it's not like it hasn't happened already. If House has shown up technically, even though it's like a younger you know what I mean? It's a flashback, right? I would be cautious about having a reoccurring character show up in a different game, because that's kind of like, doesn't Tandy or like, or no, I guess it's like a generation later. So Tandy's probably not even alive in the second game, is she? Or is she? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, do you think there should be the Night Mother that you can talk to that's that chick from fucking Daggerfall? Or whatever game she was from? You know what I'm talking, in like the Skyrim games or whatever, in the fucking Elder Scroll games, right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The Night Mother is a very specific character from one of the early games, but she's just a ghost. That's it. That's it. That's all, folks. She's a ghost
Yeah.
of
I don't know.
some woman, and she gets them to murder people. You know, sorry to ruin the fun of the Dark Brotherhood for everybody. I would avoid that unless absolutely necessary. I mean, like, do you mean like a background character, or like as like a supporting character?
Like a background character, someone like they come by, something like, because there's a lot of like uniqueness Or how about this on the radio? Wayne Newton.
Oh no, they'll definitely do that. They played songs from the third and fourth game, and maybe the seventh game. Seventh game, the
Yeah, but
74th
actually have
game.
Mr. New Vegas.
Maybe is Wayne Newton still around and doing things? And still okay and mentally fit?
Eh.
So they would need to make him do new stuff. They couldn't just play the stuff from the game. Because
I'm sure he'd be thrilled to be back into acting.
you know what I mean? Because he's meant to be like an AI or something, right? So
Yeah.
you know they would need to give him to do something new to make it feel like a little bit more real. But I'm just kind of going off of basics. Add death claws, add mole rats, maybe mole rats. I don't know. I don't know stuff from Fallout 4 and 76 so much, and I think 76 is almost its own like little slice of cake to itself, especially as it's got like a bunch more like almost nearly paranormal, fucking bad guys that are haunting. It's its own thing in its thing. And I'm sure 4 has some certain nuances to it. What Chinese spies? Be bold, be brave, do it. Add Chinese spies somewhere around. You know what we never saw in New Vegas, or at least very much? Chinese spies.
It would be hard for them to make it there.
But am I wrong though? We see them in all of they're like sprinkled all throughout Fallout 3. There's certain buildings and places you can go to with certain radios, and sometimes like a Chinese spy ghoul will spawn in certain areas as like an event or something like that. And there's like none in New Vegas. But if they were to add one, because there are some in Fallout 4. There's a submarine captain, I think. I've not played the game, but there's like a submarine captain. It's really yeah, it's right. So
And he's friendly.
yeah. So they could add one in. Why there could be one at least one. You know what I mean? Like, is the Chinese pistol and all that available in New Vegas? It is, right? In the game?
It might be.
Chinese pistol?
The Chinese assault rifle?
Chinese assault rifle?
I think so.
I think so too. So I'm just going to go off of, then there was probably some Chinese spies in California. Because they were in other places of like Nevada or California or whatever this area is meant to be.
Those could have been American war trophies
They,
too.
they could have been, but I'm just saying if it's going to be an appreciation of the Fallout series as a whole, and also a little bit expand Chinese spy ghoul, or just Chinese spies, and it would be somewhat of a brave move because of any sort of criticism of China nowadays is what I was getting to. Don't you think? Any sort of criticism of China, and boo, you're shut down. But if they could do that, would be representing the lore. It's exactly what was going on. There was a war between China and America. They could add that in, and then it would add a little bit of an expansion to New Vegas. Imagine knowing that there was a Chinese spy character that was behind something that was never explained in New Vegas or something. Some building you could never get into, but you could wonder about and was left a mystery. And then they introduce it back in the fucking show or something. And there's like a Chinese spy inside. Surprise, Kinder Surprise. Surprise! Surprise, surprise, it's Lando in disguise. So, like, stuff like that, right? It was like, that doesn't seem like that's harm. Like, I don't think that would harm New Vegas in any way. I don't think it would harm the lore or be against the lore. It's not like there was never a spy here. There was probably spies all across America. And that, right, you know what I'm saying? It makes sense that there would be
Spies everywhere.
Spies everywhere. So there would be spies there. So I'm thinking, that could be something they could do. And I'm just thinking of what could be interesting, something that they haven't done before. That would also be kind of
new, yeah,
something new,
exciting.
something new, but also old and on point, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, what did you think about the water chip is broken scene? How did you feel
That was
about that?
funny.
It was funny, but
I
did
like-
you? I mean, like, does that mean that they only
It's a
have?
nod.
It's a nod, but does that mean that they only have 50 days until they all die?
No. I
They
think that was kind of like that they were going to have to request from one of the other vaults or something like that. Which, if they're all connected together, it's not that big of a deal.
because sometimes
just
vaults
that-
have like a surplus of them, right?
Yeah.
Fallout
Well,
doesn't.
certain ones
Fallout
will-
2.
will.
Yeah, Fallout 2 shows that where there's one of the games or one of the there's like a locker you go into and it's just got a shit ton of water chips which are absolutely useless and pointless in Fallout 2. But it gives you a stupid amount, you know what I mean? So it shows that there's like some vaults had a surplus of them or, you know, but like some of them maybe only had so many and like if they ran out of them, they're done. And that might even been part of the experiment, right? Vault 13 might have been designed to have run out of power. Or, I mean, run out of water, sorry.
Or run out of chips, or the chips are all
Yeah.
effective, so they run out way earlier.
Yeah, run out
That
of
was
water
the issue.
run out of water chips so they run out of water. Yeah, so then they have to so they would be a test group that's forced to go to the surface at a certain point. Or at like a sort of
Yes.
randomly, you know, so that's I'm just making that up, but like it's based off of the things in the game. So I don't know, Fallout Season 2. I don't know. There's all sorts of things I'd like to see. Like, I'd almost like to see like do you think that would you accept if Hank McClane was also the courier?
No.
What if he was Benny and there was no courier? What if the courier? What if Benny got shot, but remembered it as if Benny shot himself, but it was really Benny the whole time, and the courier was Benny? I know that makes no sense.
I'd prefer not.
Yeah, let's not go into a bunch of what ifs that completely shatter the entire reality of a whole game. Where then again, bear with me on this one. At the beginning of the game, you're also clearly concussed, and then you get shot in the head and have a piece of your brain pulled out. And then you're supposed to have a bunch of experiences that you're meant to take at face value. You know what I'm saying? And do you know where it really I think becomes where the part where I really start going and then there's that DLC where you have like the acid the acid super salvia trip in the marsh.
Yeah.
Did you see that? Like when I played that was fucking wild. And there was like fucking exploding babies and like a bunch of like fake perka or like bobbleheads that like reduced your stats and like exploding Nuka-Colas that turned into nuke like explosions and shit.
Yeah.
Right? So coming from that, like, this is the reality of this person. The person who, by the end of their adventure, is probably a cyborg of some type, right? Like when you have your brain and your spine and all that shit removed, don't they give you like a robot spine and like some kind of special brain in encasement sort of thing? Even or if
I
you
think so, yeah.
like even if
Something
you
like that.
like even if you get your brain back, there's something changed about it. Something's different. So by the end of the game, if you've done everything, and then like let's say you've even gone to like that medical store where you can get the different like upgrades, your character is looking like the guy from like fucking Blood Dragon.
Yeah, you're looking pretty worse for wear.
You know what I'm saying? Like you are of like nearly a Borg at this point. You've got so many like cybers in you.
Well, and you're like, or even if you're not like a cyber, you're going to be changed from the amount of radiation or stuff that's.
Well, the amount of radiation, or even I'll just be generous. the fact that somebody, I'm saying, like, do you mean like if you didn't do the DLC and stuff too? Like
Yeah.
you're going minimal on it? Okay, then
Yeah.
there's you still have from the very beginning of the story a piece of your brain removed, probably. Or damaged. Because you were shot in the head. And it probably didn't get stopped by your skull.
Yeah, I went through. So, goodbye, sadness.
Goodbye something. Goodbye darkness, my old friend. So like, by from the very beginning of the story, your character's already changed from who they probably were before that. And they're not quite right. That boy ain't right in the head. Right? Like, sort of thing. Oh, man. All right. Do we got anything else? Because I almost think this is winding down to a wrap-up. What do you think?
Winding down to the wrap up.
I think we're winding down to a
close.
wrap-up, yeah. Unless we got something else. Got anything else from the chat?
Let's see about this.
Let's see if there's anything.
Definitely like the hard for me to read.
I don't see it. Chat's been dead. Now you see, there's chat romancy, which is able to bring a chat back to life. But I never learned such dark magical skills, for I was not a shill to the corporate. All right, well, it's all right to wrap up. I mean, this, after 2 hours, the show becomes a bit of a wild card. That's how it's always kind of been. But it's all right. We'll do a wrap up. We'll do the thing. It's wrapping it up. That's wrapping it up. It's the wrap up. All right.
All right.
Well, so it was good to have everybody here, and good to have everybody there, and we'll do the thing. Go.
Peace.